You are listening to Drop Tent Media Network.
Yo, all right, we're in. Welcome to the cast, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Today,
today you got a sick guest. He's a hilarious stand-up comic. He also has a sweet web series called Hacks where he plays golf with other comics. Cody's on an episode, so you might
I'm
want
on
to
an
check that
episode.
out. Yeah, but yo, fucking welcome, John Montague, baby. How we doing?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to get to see you guys and speak with you and interact. It's great. I'm excited.
I also forgot to plug that you're a new poppy.
I am. And I just texted you guys. I was going to be 5 minutes late. I was cleaning up projectile shit. So that was a
my
fun
bad.
day.
Is it a boy or a
Yeah,
girl?
Cody just stopped by.
I stopped by,
girl.
shit all over his place, and then
Yeah,
I
he
went
just-
back.
All right, I'll see you in a minute.
I was like, I hear you had a kid. You're probably good at cleaning this shit up. So yeah.
I was laughing though, man. It was like, I think this is like the first time in my life I've cleaned up puke and shit not drunk. Like, I've always, anytime I've had to clean up shit or puke, it's been 2 a.m. and it's sometimes mine. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Which would you prefer? Would you rather clean it up when you're drunk or sober? Which experience? 'Cause
it made me
you probably don't
realize. Oh yeah, all the times I've cleaned up puke and I was drunk, it made me realize that I didn't really clean it up. I just kind of, I swished it around until it wasn't an issue anymore, and then went to bed. Was usually my routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually how I clean up shit.
Yeah,
And
literally.
also too, I have just a hairy ass, and I didn't realize I should probably shower after I take a shit.
Are you a wet wipe guy?
No, I like for years I was just going toilet paper, and
Yeah.
that
Smell
was
like
it.
shit.
But yeah, man, I mean, someone made a good point. I forget who it was, but they were saying like if someone took a shit on your kitchen floor, would you just wipe it away with paper towels and that's it?
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard like someone's like, if someone shit on your forearm, would you just like brush it off with a napkin and then keep going about your day?
yeah.
It's funny.
Good point.
I mean, wet wipes it's a revelation of like how dirty your asshole was for years before that.
Yes.
Like, I didn't discover wet wipes. I'm 34. I think I started using them 4 years ago when I got a Costco membership.
Ooh.
And it wasn't until then. Before, I was like, man, I was just walking around with a filthy asshole all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's always.
I don't know how people blew me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing when you realize like the things you got back in the day with how dirty you were, like how sweaty. Like, I used to think about that. Like, you'd be out at a bar all night sweating, and then your goal was like to go home and have someone take your pants off and do. I'm like, now it's like I walk down the steps and I smell like a hoagie. I'm like, this is insane.
I used to wear a butt plug with air fresheners on it. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
You
Did you use black ice?
Yeah, of course.
The black trees.
Exactly.
I love that new asshole smell.
Yeah.
Just straight from the dealership.
Get it in a can. Yeah. No, because it is always like when you're using wet wipes, it's always like you wipe dry, and then are you good? I got really good material on wet wipes I need to discuss.
Yeah, what's
No,
up?
but like
We're good.
it's nuts because wet wipes, it is like you'll wipe dry and you're like, I'm clean, and then you go in with a wet wipe and you're like, oh my god, I don't think I got any poop on the first couple passes.
Yeah, and it's crazy how ahead of the game like chicks are with that. They're like, oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Like
But then you get like the flip side, like Big J's one bit about finding balls of toilet paper. He's like, ladies, if you knew the amount of toilet paper we had to slap out of your pussy, you just keep going on. There's somebody else too. I can't remember who it was, but they had the bit that was like, it's like, my wiping technique is brown, 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 red, stop. And I was like, I always think about that. Where you're like, yeah, I don't know when I'm done wiping. Like, there's no indicator. And it's made me, having a kid now and having to wipe her ass has made me realize like how I'm not doing that good of a job on mine. Because I'm like, man, it gets everywhere. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I usually go till it's fucking Raw, WWE Raw.
There's
So it's
reasons
Nitro.
why
I
they're.
was a WCW guy.
Dude, my one customer has a bidet, and I very like slowly exterminate that bathroom and just like stare at it. I'm like, do you think she'd notice if I just gave it a quick little rinse? Like, I just want to try. Have you guys ever
The
tried?
giveaway
bidet
would be
before?
the sound of you coming in the bathroom from how good it feels that you just
Clean.
sorry.
Oh,
I moan whenever I spray bugs. I'm sorry.
sorry, I'm just had nothing to do with using your bidet in there. It was a big bug made me come.
I've never used one, and I think I think I'll like it too much. Like I enjoy shitting. Like I work from home, so it's like it's my favorite part of my routine of the day. I'm like, oh yes, coffee's kicking in. Now that I work from home, I love that I can push the like the
Push
final. Yeah, I can push the finish line. I'm like, no, I'm waiting until I almost shit my pants.
You're out here creating the nastiest poops because you're at the comfortable environment, so you can really take them to the limits.
Oh yeah, just painful. Door open, whatever I want. But now it's like, excuse me, if I had a bidet, I would work from the toilet if I had a bidet.
Yeah, just leave it on all day.
Yeah.
Constant stream.
Yeah.
Your butthole. Wait, do buttholes prune?
Yeah, they look like your finger.
They already are
pulled too long.
Yeah,
they already are kind of pruny looking, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Buttholes are just pruned lips.
Yeah, nobody's ever complained about their butthole being too moist.
I don't know. I bet you someone has.
Good way.
I don't
clean
know.
moist.
Are you at the point with your wife where you can like shit with the door open? Or...
I don't think we were ever not at that point. It's funny. Like we were thinking about that. The best thing, she always laughs about it. Like I wasn't even. My dad farted in front of her before I ever got a chance to, and it was because we started dating like years ago when I was still living at home, and he was in the kitchen and just let one rip. And I think he knew she was there. I don't know. And she just looked at me, and I was like pissed. I was like, man, that was my milestone. Like I wanted to.
Yeah. He definitely stole that from you.
I know. He. I mean, it was his territory. He was just marking it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. But no, yeah, door open. It's especially once you have a kid, man. I keep joking about this. I think I did it on stage one night. It's like if you told 16-year-old me that one day I'm just gonna have a house and there's gonna be a woman walking around topless all the time, I'm like, hell yeah. Now I'm like, now you cut to like it's covered in like breast milk and she's pissed off at me. I'm like, oh man, this isn't how I want to enjoy tits.
The fantasy and reality are always two separate things. Fantasies are nice, and reality is usually a little bit more.
Yeah, it's too comfortable. Like it's weird if I see her in a shirt like at home now.
He's like, "What's wrong?"
That's my turn on. I'm like, "Oh, is that a t-shirt? What's up?"
I have realized that like tits really never get old though. I always think they're sick, even if I've seen that same pair 100 times.
Oh yeah,
every time it rules.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And then I've grown to appreciate too the braless with t-shirt, just like a nip poking out. Love that.
That's a new thing. That like, I mean, I'm only 34, but that didn't exist like in my heyday, if you want to say. Like that's something. It catches me off guard so much now. Especially like in Philly, like you're in Philly now, Rob. Like just driving up, like, oh my god, I was crashing my car, seeing something like that.
Yeah, there are like a lot of like hipster chicks that are just letting it rock like in public.
That look kind of makes me like feel like a cat. You know, like how they have some cat toys. The cat want to like I just want to smack the tit. Not like hard, just like yeah.
Not like anything where I'm gonna catch a charge. Just get her attention.
Yeah, I just have to.
That's the way I always felt about breastfeeding. Like the whole movement where they're like normalize breastfeeding in public. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I'm not gonna do anything weird to your tits, but also like I'm gonna think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but also I'll give you this.
Like tits are a foot.
Seeing one is weird. Seeing a pair, you're like, hell yeah. If you just see one, you're like, this is awkward. Like there's something off about this.
If the other tit comes out, I think it should be a fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One tit at a that should be their new slogan. One tit at a time.
Yeah, it's like seeing Paul McCartney. You're like, this is like legendary. But if John Lennon was here, that would like be what I really want, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like you want to see Hall and Oates. You don't go to see Daryl Hall. Like
right. Yeah, lady, fucking put your oat away, dude.
Yeah, either get Oates out here or don't get him out at all.
Hey, lady, your fucking oats out.
Speaking of which, that was the best gift that I bought before so we didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl, but the only thing I bought was a Hall & Oates onesie and a matching T-shirt for me, and it was the disappointment on my wife's face when I was like, I got the baby something. She's like, that's what you got? Like, she wore it once for a picture, but it was perfect. So I love Hall & Oates.
That's a sick dad move. It does got to be kind of sick because you've kind of reached your final form.
Yeah.
Like dad form is like, that's the pinnacle.
I know. And
Yeah.
I'm in that thing now where, I don't know if I'm going to lean in and try to be like a cool dad or just fully embrace dad. Like just whatever like fashion I was into at this point, this is it from now on. Like that's how I think dads ended up with like the whole craze of like Nike Monarchs and New Balance shoes. Like they were the shit in 91. Like they were the best shoe. And then dads were like, this is it for me forever now. I'm wearing this one.
Right.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Oh, sorry.
No, I appreciate it because if they don't change it, like, I'm a big believer in, like, if I find a pair of pants I like, I'll buy every color, and I'm wearing those pants for the next 9 years. Like,
Me too.
Got real in the corduroys run time, so I wear nothing but corduroys, just different color corduroys.
I think that's a real dad move. It's like a real utility idea dad move.
Yeah.
Dude. Whatever you do though with the dad stuff, just don't rush it. You know, like you could be denial dad for a little bit.
Yeah,
like, I'm still hip. You know, you get that whole segment. Yeah, I wouldn't rush through the stages. So
I can't wait to be garage dad because we have a detached garage, and I've already got it like pretty set up where I can just go hang out in there. I got like essentially a shrine to me. There's a trophy and a skateboard on the wall.
What trophy is it?
That it's blank somehow.
I had a feeling it was.
It's a trophy. I drunkenly put an Eagle sticker on there when they won the Super Bowl, and I've told people it's the Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, that's actually incredible, dude. You have the Super Bowl at your garage.
That's the best way to have a trophy. Just leave it blank, because then you can fill that in however you want. Like,
yeah. You should engrave biggest dick in this house.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's true.
It's between me and the guy cat that we have, and his is inside of him all the time. So I got him beat by like an inch.
Yeah, get bent, loser.
And your cat's got a tiny little dick. Hell yeah!
I want to engrave in there best garage. Like it was just given as an award. But yeah, like any chance, I fully get like that kind of shit now. Like the man cave thing was always dumb, and now I'm like, oh man, any chance like I grill out there in the garage. Like I probably should pull the grill out for ventilation purposes. Or I'm like, I'm leaving this door closed. I'm gonna catch a buzz off this propane.
Yeah,
dude, you're just fucking hotboxing burger fumes.
Yeah, dude, that the smell's so much better when it's concealed a little bit. You get that dank meat smell.
I have a garage hoodie now too that like I only wear when I'm out there. And it smells like steak and grass, and I love it, man. It's just dad. I want it to be a candle scent. It's just as full dad as you could be.
Yeah, Flavortown Kush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
dude,
I can't wait for that.
I'm getting a garage, a bunch of like hooks to hang up robes. I'm just gonna have a bunch of robes in my garage, so when anyone needs one, pop on the garage robe.
Oh, I like that. It's like a smoking jacket type situation.
Yeah, but but they'll be like a little bit grosser.
I like that. You gotta buy them used, right? You gotta go get good robes.
No, well, they're all gonna be mine, so they're gonna be used by me. I'm gonna make sure I really break them in. And then once they're all like, crusted and stuff, that's when they go in the garage. Like that one's free for all. You get your own crusty robe.
Because you never wash a robe, right? Like I don't think they come with any washing laundry instructions on them, do they?
I washed a few of them. It ruins them for sure, but you can wash them. They start falling apart at the seams. Robes are. I think I'm gonna start buying a lot of. I think that's like the start of a cult is just giving out people robes.
Yeah.
They're like, what else do you do? This is
robes and Kool-Aid.
That's all the convincing they need at first. Is like, wait, robes are really this comfortable? Like, yes, I have mother IDs too.
There's any comic that I've met. Oh, nice. There it is. And we've done it.
Robe V. Wade. Name and yeah, dude. I mean, that's like a late term report. You just strangle it with the rope. But
yeah, dude.
Sorry, what were you
that.
saying?
If there's anybody, no, if there's any comic I have met that looks like he would have a cult or could start a cult, it would be you, Cody. Like,
Yeah.
I could see
Appreciate
you easily having 30 followers within a month. Like,
Yeah, but what will we do?
I mean, I think isn't the point of any cult to get people together so you can fuck guys' girlfriends and wives? Like, that seems to be
That's the point. That's the only
every
reason why you
cult,
do it.
right?
See,
And then
I didn't know that that's what they did, but that's what I like deep down I knew.
like, that's what I've already been
Am I
striving.
You said like, yeah, I might be a cult leader. I'm like, am I fucking people's girlfriends and wives now? Is that what's the next? All right, gotta
Yeah.
get on that.
I
Gotta get
feel
on
like
that
you would
train.
have like very specific like traditions, like a robe made out of fucking dead crickets.
Just winged rope, like
Yeah.
leftover bug wings sewed together.
Yeah,
That's
your
fucking
throne is
hot.
just like a taken out like truck seat.
Every girl, every girl there just has like this shirt without a bra, and I just like instead of beads, it's just like you go into a room with the beads. It's girls' tits. You have to move out of the way.
Is the
shirt.
beads? Oh,
Yeah. You have the ceremony, the unveiling of the oats.
yeah. It's Hall and Oates or nothing, baby. You get both of them out.
Yeah. No, that rules. But
Would you make
sorry.
it a death cult eventually? Would you put it like?
Which, you know, that's kind of hard to tell. It depends how the cult's going. If we're thriving, there's no reason
Yeah.
to all kill ourselves. It's kind of like the cult death thing is just kind of basically like Egyptian type of stuff. Like how pharaohs used to be like, when pharaohs died, they're like,
Yeah.
also, can you kill all these slaves? Because I'm leaving, and they really didn't have any other purpose but to serve me, and I need them in the afterlife. Cults always have some afterlife shit they got to do. That's why they're killing them. They're
I
killing
didn't even know that was
themselves.
a thing. That's a good pull.
Yeah.
Right? I did.
That
For
makes
some
me-
reason, I have a lot of mummy and Egyptian knowledge that it's in my head. I don't know if it's true or not.
You just
Say
watched
it.
The Mummy twice, and you're like, I got it all. Brendan
I watched-
Fraser is a cult leader.
Listen, I watched The Mummy quite a few times, but I did get it all. And he's actually that the one part when the bug goes in the guy's brain and eats his brains, that's what the COVID test feels like.
Really?
I related it to that movie. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to run into a wall full speed and kill myself.
Yeah, you're on COVID watch now, right?
Yeah. I don't think I have it.
And
but
yo,
I
respect to
definitely-
you for still partying.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's what the cult's
I was
all
so
about.
worried yesterday. I like hit up your girlfriend. I was like, "Is Cody alive?"
Yesterday, I was extremely hungover, and then the fear of maybe having COVID. I was like, my immune system's so low right now. It could be anywhere. It could be coming for me.
I can't answer a group text.
Yeah, it's that bad. I leave my phone on the other side of the room, and I turn off all the noises. And I'm like, no one exists.
The last
Nobody.
text from you in that group chat was, I am COVID. And that was it. For 2 days, we didn't hear from you. I was like, oh shit, maybe there's your cult. Maybe this is just the start of your cult.
Yeah, that's how it starts, right? Fear. Now, but I'm the scared one. So I'm cultifying myself. You guys are next.
Yeah.
There it is.
I could see you guys starting a football team, the Marlton Bats.
I'm in.
Rule.
I'll play free safety on that team. I'm in.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
dude-
we'll probably get a black guy for that, but you could definitely be one of the white.
Yeah, I'll
guys.
practice squad. I'm at practice squad. I don't
Okay,
plan to make the starting roster.
you could be our Riley Cooper if you really want to.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm a kicker at best. I could see myself as a kicker on that
I'm
team.
red shirt on
There
the
we go.
Blacks, or in the Bats. On the Blacks. Yeah, I'm a blood.
Tongue twister right there.
But dude, I was kind of wondering because like once in a while I'll like think of like what kind of dad I would be. I don't know if I would be like strict at like how I would enforce rules. Like
A
if my
strict Rob would
Yeah.
be hilarious.
because I could go either way because my dad was super chill. My mom was like if it was up to her, I would wear a helmet at the dentist. So like, and I wonder like awkward parenting scenarios where like you bring your kid to like a barbecue with the other friends, and like your kid starts like kicking and screaming and crying. How do you handle that? Like what do you do?
Yeah, I have a couple friends that never had that inner monologue, and they've just brought their kid, and they're like, "That's your problem now." Like, it's a real like, "I'm here to party. That's not my kid for the next 3 hours" type of approach. It's how I feel like a lot of my friends go about it. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna do that. Like, there's a great chance. Like, my town is a real like small like walking neighborhood. You can walk to all your friends' houses. Like, there's a really good chance when this kid's old enough to ride their bike, I'm just gonna be right behind her with a drink in my hand. Like, well, you get there before me. Tell them I said what's up. I don't know.
Yeah, like what would you like? Are you gonna be like big on grounding, or are you gonna be more like let's talk it out?
I think it'll be a let's talk it out. That I'm gonna be the one that's like trying to discuss the cosmos with my kid when they're like 3. Like, what do you think's out there?
Yeah. How do you think you're gonna feel about boyfriends?
Oh, I'm gonna fight so many boyfriends.
Start fighting babies right now.
It's so funny. Well, we were laughing about it because a friend of mine had a kid like a month before, and he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I can't get too angry now because I got to save some aggression for when my daughter's like 16. I got to like, strong arm somebody. And I was like, oh yeah,
child.
Right. I was like, oh, me too. And then I remembered that I live in Collinsville, which is just 90% lesbians. And I was like, no, my daughter's going to be dating the captain of the field hockey team. I'm good. Like, let's be like, she's cute. Like, good job.
But by then you'll be able to fight women and it'll be considered progressive. You better
but I don't
get your ass kicked by her.
I don't trust myself against a teenage lesbian. They're probably really tough. Like,
they're doing some secret shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no that like one like. I like the comfort of knowing that if I'm ever really losing a fight, I can just say goodbye to my dignity and punch him or kick him in the balls. I'm like, all right, fight's over. That's gonna hurt way too much. That'll at least stop him,
Yeah.
Like for a second.
You just gotta hit her in the oats and great stops.
Yeah.
Right in the hole in the oats, dude. Yeah, I guess I never had a tit before, but I assume getting punched in the tit would be a lot like trying to stop a shark from biting you. Probably give up.
Yeah.
The only chick I ever fought was my sister when we were little kids. I remember I punched her in the arm because she said Green Day sucks.
You bitch!
Did you scream Dookie as you hit her too?
Yeah. Fucking Green Day was my god back then because I was atheist when I was a kid.
Nice.
I
How
never
old
really...
were you when you were an atheist? I remember what atheism was like 4 years ago.
Like I remember like as a kid I just never really bought into it because there was always a confusion because like my mom's a Northeast Philly Jew and my dad's Christian, so like I'm like I was never brought up like being like this is like the definition of God. Like it was always confusing. So like, there isn't really anything going on here.
That's true.
And then I remember
I fucking love Green
I remember when I was 7. I remember when I was 7, I prayed. I was like, God, if you're real, like give me one sign, dude, please. And then there was no signs. I was like, all right, I'm just.
And then
I'm going
Time
no
of
backup.
Your Life came on.
What?
Time of Your Life came on the radio, and you're like, there's my sign.
Yeah,
Billy Joel is my God. Joe, whatever the fuck his name is. That pisses me off too. Don't have the name Billy Joe and be a musician when it's so close to Billy Joel.
Yeah,
that fucked me up for a while.
Yeah, you could be a comedian, be anything else, be like, I'm the Billy Joe, I'm the other art.
Yeah, that'd be like if Rob, you're like, my name's John Leno Cruz. Like it's John Lennon. Like Jesus Christ, you just took one goddamn letter off.
Or if I was Rob Terry Crews.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Terry Crews is the only celebrity that spells his last name the same as mine. Tom Cruise doesn't. Penelope Cruz doesn't. And then I think that's all the Cruz.
Danny McBride doesn't.
Yeah, at all. Not even close. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. This is like
is that the only celebrities with Cruz last names? No, I'm trying to think of some more.
I think so.
What about J. Crew? The whole crew is repping you.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Jew Crew, dude.
Jew Crew.
That should be a bit, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a bit based.
Hey, my name is Rob Cruz. Like the Sox. like fucking like just a
I
standing
thought of it,
O.
Rob. It's my bit. I'm doing it.
Dude,
So
I
it
just
makes-
do
I
it.
got
so
it.
so it makes no sense at all.
That's my opener, and then it's just applause for 59 minutes, and then I just leave.
Do you ever do
Yeah.
that? Do you ever write jokes as if you were a black comic or like if you were an Asian comic?
Well, I've
Yeah.
written bits with the N-word in them, but no.
Like I just screamed the N-word in my set a lot.
Yeah, it comes off a little more racist if you're white and say the N-word a lot in your set. Even no matter how black you think
No.
you're being.
No,
Cody,
that,
you
that is
still-
hilarious though when you see like a comic who's so clearly into like Opie and Anthony and like Louis C.K. and all that shit, and they're like, Louis C.K. has an N-word bit. I could just go up there
Yeah,
and just say the N-word.
at this open mic in.
Louis C.K. must have definitely just started with that joke and never worked his way into a place where he could say that on stage and people will be like, oh, we get it. He probably was saying that to strangers immediately.
Yeah,
Big sarcastic. He probably really didn't do that.
Cody, you still had my favorite N-word bit when you went up on stage and you were like, it basically was like, I can say the N-word. It's like, you were like,
Oh,
I can use the
yeah.
N-word. No, it's okay because I'm racist. That, just,
I tell him all the time I love that bit.
that
Yeah,
was great.
It's funny that bit does really well in black rooms, but doesn't do well in white rooms.
That's where any material that would piss off a black person kills to a black room. And then it's when
Yeah.
you do it at an open mic with 20 fucking nerdy white kids and it bombs. You're like, come on. Like, you know this is funny. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
here. You can say this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, trust me, they were here. They like it either way.
yeah.
But
They're
they don't
reapply.
know. They need the seal of approval. But I don't know. Joe Biden's America. You can be racist as shit now.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
I had that happen. The only, I guess you want to call it, not racist bit, but like black bit that I have, I did, so 2 rounds of Philly's Funniest last year. The second round, there was a black couple at the table in the front row. And I was like, all right, in my head, I was like, this is going to be an indicator if this one works. And
I remember this. You were like, oh, like there's a black couple.
yeah.
Get to the back of the
I was
club.
like,
I remember that. That was
everybody
good.
out. Yeah.
No,
I was like, it's them. They're not paying their bill. It was like, oh man, it kills usually. But no, it was like it pissed me off because I could see in their face the guy wanted to laugh so bad and it hit and he had it, but he wouldn't like verbally laugh. And inside I was like, I need you to laugh at this so that this white audience will all now laugh at it. And he
Right.
just kind of held it in. I was like, come on, man.
He didn't realize he was the one piece of the puzzle that needed to be placed so everything else would fall in the line.
Exactly. He was the gatekeeper. Everyone else was just, I said it, and they're like, and your thoughts? Like,
It's the whole show was the pinnacle was that moment. Like, are we gonna have
Yeah.
a good time tonight, or you're not gonna? All right, we're gonna be awkward for the rest of the show. It
Yeah.
happens.
I blame not winning Philly's Funniest on that guy. Wasn't me.
Motherfucker.
and I feel like we can blame most things on them. But
That couple. You mean that couple. It's their fault.
I'm kidding, people. Come on, baby.
No, it's
But,
wild. I got a lot of things. So I have to do. I have a bunch of community service I have to do, 30 days worth, and so they started giving me my assignments since I can't like go in and anywhere. I just have to do like book reports on shit.
You're doing virtual community service.
Yeah, they're like, watch the movie Crash. It's like a racial movie. I'm like, yeah, I've seen it like a million times. I love that movie. And they're like,
You
all right,
want to
write a book report on it. I'm like, okay. Like,
wait?
all
What
right.
was your crime? Was this hate crimes that you're doing community service for?
No,
Like,
this is for my DUI.
did you run over a black guy with your car? Like,
I don't know, but apparently every other so there's other movies they said watched. I could watch.
A Bug's Life. Tell us.
No, they didn't give me that. They said Schindler's List, which is kind of like A Bug's Life.
Really?
Dude, that'd be amazing if they made you an
Yeah.
exterminator watch A Bug's Life. And they're like, think about what you did.
It's like this is just attacking what I do for work. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's just like fuck you, what you stand for, and
I
don't
love the
drive
idea
drunk
that-
anymore.
If you were doing your job great, A Bug's Life is only a 2-minute long movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole movie's just about like a bad exterminator.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm pretty bad at exterminator anyway. There's bugs all over the place in this house.
I think to be a good exterminator, you should be a bad exterminator because that's just return business, right?
Yeah, you leave at least 2 bugs at each house of opposite
Yeah.
sex. So they
Like
can
you
get
just
the
walk
fuck
in, you're like, I got it, and you toss some eggs in the corner and get out. See you in a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's I just have my
that's
business
the weird
cards.
thing about businesses like that. Like I always thought it was weird as like a doctor. Your job is to create less business for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's always been like
their job is for you to not come back again.
Right.
I don't.
Which
Yeah,
is-
but like, there's definitely people that like, all right, maybe we'll just like auto mechanics. Like they're also the same way, you know. But a lot of the
Yeah.
times, they won't really get the car all the way fixed, so you have to keep coming back. And that's why I think cancer is fake.
Yeah.
COVID never existed. The doctors
Yeah,
were
good.
just, they needed a payday.
Yeah, next
You
time
have to
someone has
be-
cancer, I want them to say, "I have the Easter Bunny." You know, like it's just the same shit.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like,
they live
"Hey,
till they're
you still-
95. They're good.
You still believe in cancer? Everyone knows doctors made that up.
That's a good conspiracy theory that your cult can push on to people.
Yeah, yeah. And also we'll have a holiday where like in the morning you open up a pack of cigarettes, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get myself cancer. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're just smoking
Cancer
cigarettes.
claws.
Instead of coal, you get chemo.
You're smoking them by a power plant. You're like, I'll just bring it all on.
Cancer
That must
claws
be-
loves Newports and red meat.
Yeah, you're smoking the cigarette and eating the red meat next to a nuclear power plant. And then someone, wait, I forget where I was going with that. Because I just
Cancer
said
claws-
No,
everything.
just keep saying random words. You'll find it. Just keep
Oh
it
yeah,
going.
no. Yeah, we'll walk by and like, holy shit, he's the Jesus of this religion or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck.
Cancer
Yeah,
claws'
so
much cancer.
sled. Cancer claws' sled is just powered by 5G.
Cancer Claws is a great movie.
Cancer.
That also sounds like a very particular part of like a contract. They're like, actually, you didn't read the cancer clause. Where-
So we don't have to pay you.
Yeah, so what if Santa Claus? Yeah, what if Santa Claus gets cancer and instead of leaving out cookies and milk, we gotta leave out a bag of chemo for him. So he goes house to house, just fucking like, oh, need my medicine.
But Christmas takes forever because I think you have to sit for like 2 hours to finish that bag.
Hey, listen, we had to postpone. That took a long time to do the votes. Santa Claus gets an extra few days this
Yeah.
year too to get his job done properly. So
True.
when you wake up Christmas morning, Trump's gonna wake up Christmas morning and be like, "Where are all my toys?" We're like, "They're still coming." And he's like, I don't even want them now. Fuck them.
He's just protesting. He's like, this can't be all the toys. That's a bad Trump impression, but you get what I'm saying.
Yo, Cancer Christmas is like Hanukkah, but like 4 days, and each day is one stage.
It's Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Actually, for those who don't know who are listening to the cast, I'm in my new place. This is the first cast from the new place.
That's some sweet digs. I like it, man.
Yeah, man, it's nice. We got like a whole bunch of windows here. We got some natural light, baby.
Hell yeah.
You're really high up.
Yeah, we're on the 22nd floor.
What's
Nice.
your fire?
It's just
what's
a
your fire-
basement, but really high up. What?
What's your fire escape plan? You got a fire ladder?
I don't know. We don't have a fire escape, which is kind of wild.
First, that's your plan. Just
Yeah.
You better learn how to fly.
are you facing? Do you know which direction, like northeast, southwest, you're facing?
No idea.
Because that's got to be a bit. See, this is the fucking homeowner in me now. I see these blinds. You got to understand where the sun rises, the sun sets.
Oh,
that
so
kind
the sun rises on those windows.
so you've been a morning boy lately.
Yeah, well, a part of me too is like I'm like I gotta take advantage of this move. I'm like I gotta just get my life together
Yeah.
because most of this move was like I because I'm living with my sister. She FaceTimed me and she could just tell I was in bad shape. And then a few days later, she called me and she's like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but you're moving in with me."
Yeah. Gonna need
So-
you to turn
so
that
she-
shit around, buddy.
Yeah, so like we've been working out together. She queer-eyed me, dude. She
Nice.
designed this like the furniture and the layout and all that stuff, and I lucked the fuck out, dude. This is unbelievable.
I was actually gonna say because from the one picture you posted online, I was like, man, he really did a good job doing like a cool minimalist design. You're like, nope, just my sister.
No, it was all my sister.
Yeah, just my gay sister setting it up.
I was gonna say the way your layout in the basement seemed like you were probably that would have been tough for you to figure out.
Yeah,
You
and
just had
also too,
beds.
like I like my instinct isn't to care about that kind of thing.
Right.
Like my bedspread in the basement was just like a maroon blanket with like a pillowcase that was like looked like a Hershey bar. like
Nice.
like nothing matched. I was just like, I can sleep on this.
Dude, look,
Yeah.
I'm on my bunk bed right now. It's got a weird bunch of different things, and also I just got this random fucking. Where is it? Look, titty.
Yeah,
All
that's
notes are out.
very.
You just got a
similar
whole
to me.
fuck torso on your
Yeah.
top bunk.
Yeah, we stole that from a t-shirt place. They were being dicks or something. I forget what happened.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to explain why you stole a titted up torso. I mean, I'm not arguing it.
All right, I didn't think I had to. I was just making sure.
It's amazing, Rob, though, like when you buy, like these blinds are probably the first blinds I ever actually bought in my life that weren't, like I bought those like bamboo ones that everyone has like their senior year of college and they're like, yeah, these are cool. Like girls are going to think these rule. But like, it's amazing how much of an adult and an interior designer I thought I was from hanging white, like plain blinds. I was like, they fit the window.
It is oddly satisfying.
Yeah.
I think like now I'm like starting to like take care of like some shit because I'm like, this is like I feel some ownership over it.
Yeah.
Like in my basement before I moved, it was just like 3 bowls, like 2 plates of just crusted up like cheese and sauce on them, just like chilling right next to my bed, just empty Red Bull cans everywhere. Like it was just fucked because like
Yeah.
I was like I was still like in that kid mind state because I'm like it's too
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so now like I'm here like I'm like I gotta wash this plate or I'm gonna feel bad in the morning.
Start smashing them and throwing them out.
True.
Just can't wait. Are you gonna go like? Are you gonna lean into the full like mature decorating? Or are you hanging up like a Reservoir Dogs poster, a Boondock Saints poster? Like just revert because if it was left to me, like this is my office, my in-home office, and if I can tell you, like if my wife didn't live here, it would be like Fight Club poster that I had since like high school. I haven't watched the movie since. Like I had the Rat Pack outside of the Sands in Vegas. I don't know, for some reason I thought that was cool. Like in college, I was like, but this is what girls want to see. 3 white guys that let a black dude into their group just staring at her.
I feel that I do want to do that, but well, me and my sister are gonna spend the holidays together because my parents are nervous about COVID. So we just got a little miniature Christmas tree, and we're also getting a menorah, which is gonna be fun. And then I'm gonna have what you have, the like wall guitar hangers. I'm gonna have that.
I just put those up. Again, it's something. Now these guitars will probably never leave those hangers, but I look like I'm so cultured now.
Yeah, no, that's tight. Do you rip
all
the
you
axe?
did golf pictures. If you could just get your dad to die, you get golf pictures and you can hang them on the wall. It's amazing. It's all it
My
takes.
dad
funny,
died. I didn't
why
get golf pictures. What
You
the fuck?
got a safe full of guns. I don't. You're bitching
true.
about.
I guess.
Allegedly,
guess-
sorry.
Yeah.
How many guns do you
Sorry.
have? 4?
Cut that shit.
I mean, it's not. It's
There
nothing.
it is.
You should never lie about not having guns. You should definitely just. It's okay for people to know I have guns.
Those are actually just full of guns. Those guitars.
Those guitars are just. Yeah, wait. What's that? There used to be a old movie, not too old. Johnny Depp's in it with these Mexicans, and they shoot out of their guitars.
Oh, the Mexican, I think it's called.
I think it really is, right?
Yeah.
Are you fucking with?
No, there's the one with Antonio Banderas where he carries around the guitar case. It opens up. You're like, yeah, you know. That other looks
Yeah,
bad.
was your fucking dad him? He left behind
He was.
gun guitars.
He just filled 2 fenders with handguns. No
Wait,
bullets though, so I'm
Do
fucked.
you guys both have dead dads?
Yeah. I'm new to the club though. I'm very new to the club.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, Did your dad die before you had the kid, or was
Right after, yeah. He got to see her on FaceTime, so that was awesome.
Also, what's your kid's name so I stop calling the kid?
Nora. Yeah.
Nora. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So he
Well,
did get to
I feel
meet
bad
her
talking
because-
about this now because it's very recent.
No, it's all right. I did a bit about it last week, and that was kind of like one of my stages of grief. That like I went to an open mic down like Williamstown area, did a bit that I've wanted to do for a while. Well, since it happened, not like I wrote it before he died. I'm
I was
like,
just waiting.
just waiting to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was kind of like that was. I get it, and I think he would like all this funny talk. Like I don't know if you're in the same boat, Cody. Like.
Yeah.
I think he would want me to be making jokes and laughing,
Right.
and not at his expense. Like, but
right. Yeah. It's not like you're just roasting them for no reason or whatever.
yeah,
You're
it's not like you're going up agaest your best friend and it's just making fun of him or anything, you know.
Yeah. It's
On a rooftop in Philly.
shit,
Oh man,
yeah.
I don't know about you. My friends like hugged me and they loved me. I don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
shout out to you, Cody. Cody, you did the coolest thing after my dad passed. He just Venmo'd me $30. And I was like, and at first there was no context to it. And I texted him. I was like, hey man, thank you. I love you. Like that was awesome. And he just said, next beers you drink are on me. And I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing, especially now, like in
Yes.
the time of COVID pandemic. I've told so many people, I was like, that's out of all the text and everything I got, that was like the most like heartfelt. And I was like, fuck, that like really meant something. So thank you, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, you get. So I actually took that from Dan Madden. Did that to me because
Nice.
his mom got cancer claws earlier before my dad got cancer claws, and so he
That
he's
sounds like you're saying cancer claws, like they have crab claws.
Wait, and also too, isn't like
side
the
effect.
sign? Isn't the like the astrological
He's a
sign
crab.
cancer crab?
yeah, dude. I think there's some sort of there's got to be some sort of connection with those three things and how to cure cancer. That
Yeah.
they're just not. Crabs definitely have something to do with.
And that
cure
somehow
cancer.
ties into your cult, man. We're figuring it all out here. We're
Once
just
we figure out some more stable ground, I'm getting the ropes for everybody, and we're going.
Well, it was
going
funny
sit-
though when you did that for me, and like I was like, that was generally a nice thing in my head. I was like, I can't wait for one of my friends' dads to die. I can do this too. I was like, it's fucked up. And I was like, when am I gonna do this?
Yeah, you're like, oh man, I hope one of my friends' dads died soon, so I can pull off this.
So I can look like a hero.
Yeah, so I can't take full credit, but yeah, pass it. You know, it's a solid move because it's one of those things though. Like you won't really understand it until you're going to, like when it's happening to you.
Yeah.
Because when I remember feeling the same way when Dan did it to me, I was like, oh shit, dude, that made me feel really good. So I'm like, I have that in the back pocket for
Yeah.
whenever.
So you were
someone-
doing it. You were like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I was like, John, I can do it to John. I'm close enough to do that.
Statistically, it's going to happen soon. You're getting mad. You're angry. You're like, man, I wish somebody's parents would die so I could do this.
I'm just constantly on Facebook. It starts to like eat away at me like an addiction. Like I'm addicted to that, wanting to do it. I'm like,
So much so that you start killing people's parents. So that
I
you
did
can-
it out of love. I wanted to express love.
He's the pay it forward murderer. That was the original plot to pay it forward, and then they got Haley Joel Osment in there. Like, we can't. I don't know. It's a little dark.
That really is just like Dexter if he was a ginger.
Yeah, yeah,
That's exactly what would happen if he was a ginger.
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's fucking crazy. We can take this out if you don't want to talk about it.
No, it's fine.
But because I noticed the detail where you said he FaceTimed her before, so
Yeah,
that makes me think it was
yeah.
COVID because there's like a lot of people that are like FaceTiming before they die with COVID.
It was a surprise that it happened when he passed. I will say though, like we think it was a heart attack, so it chalked up to, but on his phone he was like Googling like, is back pain a sign of COVID? And then it progressed, and I looked, and it was like, is back pain a sign of stroke? And it was like, is back pain a sign of heart attack? And I'm like, if you just
Wow.
called me, I could have been like, I don't have any answers, but I'll take you to the hospital. Like,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of
that's
people
one
are
of the
reluctant.
things. It's opened my eyes to be like, oh, that pain in my leg, that's probably gonna go away in like a day. I'm like, no, I have insurance. Like, I should go get this looked at. Like, it's opened my eyes to that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, man.
if anything.
Well, sorry, dude. I don't know how I fucking missed that. Sorry, dude.
What's that?
Like, I felt like I should have known about that.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, that's another thing that's weird too. It's like because I have like 10 Instagram accounts. I feel like between like the hacks one, my comedy one, then I have like a personal one. I was like, I don't want to go on. Like, how do I let people like? Because all my comedian friends are a different group of friends, and like you guys wouldn't have heard from the people I grew up with and I'm friends with. Like, so I'm like, how do I go on and be like, hey guys, how have you been? And then just wait for the yeah.
It is such a weird thing because like whenever I'm on like Instagram or any of those social platforms, I'm usually like dicking around.
Yeah.
So it is like a weird thing to be like, penis. Dad died. Sorry,
well, and I mean, I did. So I did post. I say all that, but I did post something on my comedy one. But it was only. It made me happy because it was the only time my dad ever saw me do a show comedy wise. It was the High Note show we did back in March, and Chris Wood was also on it. Who I grew up with Chris Wood. My dad coached him and everything. And at one point, Chris was like, "Get your dad over here, man. I want to get a picture with him." And I never would have thought of that. Like, it never would have crossed my mind. Like, I was hosting the show. I was running back and forth. And we got this picture of, like, him, me, Chris, my dad, and a good friend of mine I grew up with. And I put it on there essentially to just be like, thank you to Chris Wood. And then to say to people, like, I always hear people that are like, I'd never want my parents to come see my comedy. Like, dude, like, let them in on it. I mean, I don't have anything that's that outlandish, I think, in my comedy. But even if I did, I think my parents would be, like, still proud or happy to, if you're in contact with them, like, share it with them. They were fun people. They're the reason that I love comedy. Like, growing up, my dad showed me Seinfeld and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, you need to be here to see this. Like,
yeah, and I feel like your parents just get you a little more once they see you perform.
Yeah. One, it's they saw me less as like their little son after that, and then more of like, oh no, like this is a whole new side of him, like an honesty side of him. Like on some things, I had a bit about my dad for a long time. He did a little stint in jail, and the person that loved that joke the most was him. Like, he was telling people while he was in jail. He was telling them that bit.
Wow.
It was amazing. I will say this is the only thing. He stole all my material and was like running it in jail and was like murdering with it. I would go see him. He's like, hey man, that bit about George Foreman kills here. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, dude, that bit actually got me a Cinnabon, so thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that bit got me into the Aryan Nation. Thanks, son.
Yeah, man. That is like an interesting point in your life when your parents start to see like the real you, because I feel like a lot of people are, you know what? I'm not gonna project. I'm gonna say for me, with my parents, I have a version of me when I'm with my parents.
100%.
And then there's this whole other side of me that's a complete mystery to them, like how I talk on here, how I am with my friends and stuff like that. And my mom came to a comedy show where I'm just talking about like dicks the whole time, and she didn't think it was like that hilarious, but she was like, it was kind of cool that she was like, oh, like that's how like you are. Like when,
she's like, I've seen your dick. It's not that funny.
Yeah, just like how you are like out in the real world. Like,
but I think that can also make you a better comic too, because it's going to make you mesh all of those people that you are to eventually become like that's. I'm always envious when I see somebody that's so comfortable on stage that like they can talk about anything. Now, some people push that to where it's not even like funny. You're just like, come on, get to a joke. But like some people that are so comfortable talking about anything in their life. And I'm like, man, I could never get to that. Like, that's that person's truest self. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, for sure. And that's always one thing I always said that I appreciated about Cody's stand-up is that out of all the people I've seen around here, Cody is the closest to being on stage and off stage, personality-wise.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
It's not good. It might be good for the stand-up aspect, but
yeah, it doesn't make you a good person. You're a piece of shit. But you're a piece of shit on and off, baby.
You don't have to improve, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to. People really want you to, but you don't have to.
No, I agree.
I've gotten critiques like when I'm hanging out with people where they're like, "You're doing your stand-up voice."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's something that comes and goes though, because I there was a few times like people would be like, "Are you like working a thing right now?" I'm like, "No," but I was thinking about it, like maybe turning it into one. So
More and
yeah,
more,
so yes.
more and more, I am working. Like my wife loves and hates it, but like I'll come down and I'll start to do something. She looks at me, she's like, "Did you write this in your notes?" And you are like testing it on me. No, never. And then I come back after an open mic. I'm like, that thing about cheese in the fridge killed. Like,
Yeah.
that's always my
sometimes-
indicator too. If I run a bit by her and she kind of laughs at it, it usually kills, and then eventually she'll like it. Like,
Yeah, and she's like pretty cool about like you like pursuing it.
yeah and no, I don't know. It's like now, especially if there's a kid and with like everything going on. Like I went to an open mic last week. Our daughter's a little bit over a month old, and I was finally like, okay, I'm comfortable leaving the house for an hour. I'm gonna go. I'm going to do my set, ask the guy if it's cool if I just bail after that. As soon as I got there, I kind of got like judgmental myself when I texted her. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's irresponsible for me to be around 30 random strangers. Like, I was like, I swear to God, I'm 6 feet away from them. But like, so yeah, it's kind of weird, especially now. It's almost just more uncertain of like, hey, what's going on with this? Is it, and she loves it. Like, she's always loved going to she used to go to, when we lived in Central PA where I started, she would come to open mics almost every week that we're out there and stuff. Like, because it became like our group of friends. But yeah, now if there's a kid, it's like I got to pick and choose. And that was kind of, if you want to take it full circle, that's where Hacks kind of got birthed out of. Was I was like, I need a new avenue if I'm not going to be able to go to mics or try to get on more shows. Like, I need some way to, one, I just love hanging out with comics. So like, I need a way to do that. And I love golf. So let me just do those two things.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun going out. We went on the links, which is golf course, literally right next to my house, which is sweet.
Yeah.
Since I can't drive, so he was able to pick me up. But we did it without Albert Davis.
That's been one of my favorite things is having like, because it's so funny. Like comedy wise, you wouldn't be surprised if like you and Al were hanging out, but like everybody else, like in everyday life, you and Al are a weird combo. You know what I mean? Like, there's not many situations that would bring you two together except something like comedy or golf. Like, if you were to randomly get paired up with Al. And that's not knocking either of you guys. You guys are just, you're both hilarious people and just two different portions of life, if you want to say. Al's a model and you're a stoner. That's where we're getting.
Hey, I was a childhood model.
You're a childhood stoner.
Yeah, he modeled for Zany Brainies.
I heard it. I heard you. Wait, I remember one cast I was listening to. I'm a big fan of what else. I was actually kind of disappointed that we just started, and in my head, I was playing the music. I was like, what up? Oh, hey, cool, we're live. Cool.
We got to start just playing it for ourselves.
I was humming it like all afternoon, so you're good.
Let's go, baby.
Good.
That
is a great tune.
It's
my favorite podcast intro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude,
I really like
that theme song is how I sold Cody on the name.
Oh, yeah.
Because
really?
I told him, I was like, what do you think of like the name, like What Up? And he was like, and then I was like, well, I wrote a theme song already. and then I played it for him. He's like, all right.
He's like, what up? I'm like, all right, cool. We definitely need that to start every time, though. Because
it has the right energy to go into something. Like it gets me. I'm like, I'm about to listen to some knuckleheads. Like
we're gonna see what's up. Yeah, I always wanted because I always get like a certain type of ready for each like when I'm gonna watch an episode of Hacks or I'm gonna watch James McElhenney or I'm gonna watch Sweet Heat or Silly Boy Fun Time, you name it, whatever. I get in like all right, I'm gonna go hang out with these guys by myself. It's a nice way to.
It's more than ever. I fall into the trap of like talking to you guys today. I forgot. I'm like, oh no, you haven't been talking with them once a week. You've just been listening to them. And like I fall into that trap now where I'm like, no, I'm really good friends with Joe Rogan. Like I talk to him once a week. Like we're both
the same way.
Boys, dude. Like
I'm the same way with that shit.
But that's gotta get scary at a certain point for like someone Joe Rogan's level to have that many people thinking that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a mental disorder that's diagnosed in 30 years, where it's like a new form of schizophrenia, where you just listen to podcasts all day and you're like, I have all these friends across the country,
It is kind of funny. We've turned something that we used to call someone crazy for into a reality. Like you could stay at home all day and just have voices in your head. And just do and that's it. That's all you need. It's like it used to be oh, if that's happening to you, you're crazy. Now it's like we want it. I want it to happen. I just don't want it to be just mine.
Yeah, I pay for it to happen. I subscribe to like 9 Patreons.
True. I've had like a lot of experiences like that where that's like most of my day. I listen to podcasts just all day.
Yeah.
Because I used to listen to music a lot, but I'm like I can't even do it anymore. I think my threshold for my brain being occupied has gone up too much because there's so much stimulus going on. Like I'll cycle through like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'll have New Girl on the TV while I'm doing that.
Dude, I'm literally doing the same thing, but I just switched from New Girl to Community. But I was watching New Girl over and over again to the point where I'd finish it at like last episode of the series, and then I'll just start it over.
Oh
again.
yeah,
Like
I literally
just laying in my bed. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why?
I just texted Matt Peoples like an hour ago, and I said Nick Miller is the greatest character in TV history, hands down. And I'll challenge anyone that wants to go up against that.
Yo,
I don't know.
also too.
I really like
Matt,
me, but
speaking of Matt Peoples, is there any resentment in High Note that you and Matt Peoples are the hottest guys in that whole group?
We're just hottest on 2 different like age spectrums. We've already discussed this. Like Matt's just like he's the hot younger brother, and I'm just the hot older brother. So it's how it is. And then you throw
that kind of makes it seem like you're closer though.
Oh yeah, no, we've teamed up against. But then you also threw in there that High Note has the hottest Indian guy in the Philadelphia area, in Misbah Hawk. That's a rarity. If you get a hot white dude, that's not rare. You get a hot Indian guy who's also fit as fuck. Man, he's our ace in the hole. Nobody understands that.
True.
Oh, I think we all understand that.
Yeah, he's also the only thing that makes us not look racist is having Misbah on the team.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Damn it. I miss those fucking Jersey mics, baby.
I know.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I would expect the Jersey mics to come back sooner than the Philly ones did. I guess maybe like Philly lucked out because there's just so many more mics in Philly that like the lesser version of that is still a few.
Yeah.
And then like for Jersey, there's only like 4. So
right.
But yeah, man, I'm ready for that Jersey shit to come back because I have a theory that South Jersey is the best place to start comedy.
So
in the world. I've
discussed this with you before, and I 100% agree. Like it's something weird, and it's not to knock Philly at all. It's just something, and I say the same thing I started out in Harrisburg, which I don't know if it's because it's less saturated. Like in Harrisburg, there's one mic. It's on Thursday nights, and there's 40 comics there every Thursday night. And there's one in Lancaster too, but like it was everybody came like with like heat and it was everybody. You almost didn't want to try new stuff because you're like, oh my god, there's like a crowd here, like a legitimate, good sized crowd. I want to keep nail down the stuff that works, and you kind of have the freedom to try more stuff. You could say something that's questionable, knowing that, and everyone kind of understood that like this isn't the end result he's going for. This might sound a little racist, a little sexist, a little weird right now, but eventually he's going to find the funny in this.
Yes, and that's what I appreciated about South Jersey. Is like I was never nervous to do like a new bit that I thought was like super out there and like kind of fucked up. I was like, the worst thing that can happen is that it's not funny. I'm not worried about like backlash.
Right.
But there are like a few people in Philly that are starting to like foster that environment. Like I just did live Do-Rag and the Deer Tag at Raven, and they did a mic afterwards, and I wild out. I said crazy shit there because they're cool with it. It's just like such a relief to like see that. But I do think
shout out to them. They're Hacks alumni as well. Drew and Naeem.
Yes, they are.
Great episode. We didn't know Naeem was left-handed. We made him play right-handed. Drew fucking hustled him on that one. It was amazing.
That's
But
a solid move.
and it's not necessarily like you said. It's not you're going in there with like ill intent. You're like, I just don't know where the funny is in this yet, and here I'm comfortable to find it. Like it's that's good.
I think that's why in South Jersey there's such a diverse range in styles.
Yeah, I agree.
Like stylistically, like especially for like how condensed that scene is, like the amount of styles comedically are like crazy.
That was one of the things I liked. You mentioned our team at High Note. We have 8 guys that run the High Note room, but like if you look at the 7 or 8 people that run that, at a glance, it's just mostly 6 white guys and an Indian guy, like I said before. But it's like you get everything from. I mean, me and Matt Peoples are essentially just white guy, cool sneaker comedy. But then, like you get like Andrew Fox, who is just murderous. Like comes in like ripping like essentially Weekend Update headlines and just kills with it every week of new stuff. Then you get somebody like Ramon Bender who comes out and will just do a musical act one week. Like it is a lot. I don't know. There is a lot more variety. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's cool like seeing like a dude like Cody who's just like super like shoot from the hip, kind of like more wild, and then like you'll see a Paul Carson who's like a little more like planned out, but like both are so brilliant, and then like a Greg Goldstein and there's I don't know, it was
the Billy Stranges. There's a lot of different things that are able to come out from there. Probably because that you're not immediately like, it's not just like the whole progression of a show is ruined if you can't like at least hear someone say something and not be like, completely like have it ruin the mood of a show. Just be like, all right, just don't laugh.
Yeah.
And then that way the show could keep going. And I think that what happens in South Jersey is a lot of like, if someone says something that's maybe a little bit not preferred for whatever reason, no one's like, it's not like a huge thing. There's not an awkwardness to it. It's like, all right, whatever, keep it going.
I also love
that way everyone's able to stay in their focus and try new things.
The one thing I noticed from hosting too in South Jersey is like if there is something like that, it's never confrontational as the host to go back up and like point out to like that was fucking weird, or like crack a joke about somebody's set. I mean, if it makes somebody not come back the next week, it's rare. I don't think I've really ever seen that happen. But like,
and also they weren't supposed to do it if they don't come back.
Yeah. But there's a lot more comfort level to have fun with that. That's my favorite thing about hosting maybe not just South Jersey, but it's like I love being able to like go up there and like Cody bombed on something. I love getting to point it out because then the next week he's either going to come back and dig into me or he's going to come back and murder with that thing kind of ironed out a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think what I appreciate it too, it's like it's more like regular dudes with like dreams.
Yeah,
which is like a interesting combination. I feel like with Philly, where there's still fucking sick comics in Philly. But like, most people who like move to Philly to do comedy, like these people are like here for their dreams, like
right.
Or they grew up here. But like I feel like I feel like with the South Jersey thing, it's more like regular dudes tapping into the arts, which I think fosters like an interesting vibe.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're like, if this doesn't work out, maybe I'll just start a cover band kind of thing.
Well, and also just like it is funny to like be in an area where hunting's popular and it's like camouflage is like a regular thing, and then to do something like that where you're supposed to be really good at hiding, but then you see them like on a stage in bright lights. It's like contradicting what you probably were good at instinctually growing up there.
Even just like the scene or the feel of wherever it's at, like from where Flying W is to where Tap Room is two totally different feels when you went into that place. A lot of times, and I love all the mics I've been to and all the shows I've been to in Philly, but there's a lot of times where I forget. I'm like, which bar am I? Like, this is the same. A lot of times it's like literally just copy and paste, but not knocking it, but they're bars that allow comedy. Like, I don't know. That was weird.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
well,
There's like
the thing is, like, from
there's
you
a
saying
certain
that, you're
vibe.
not going to get booked anymore, but, like, I'm glad you're, like, I'm
Guess what? Wasn't getting booked before, so
I'm just yanking
No,
your
you're
dick,
right.
baby.
No,
like,
rooms totally have vibes.
Yeah,
yeah.
like that
And
is like the cool thing. Like each room has a very particular vibe. Like High Note has a very different vibe from the Flying W, which has a very different vibe from Bobby Ray's, which has a very different vibe from. Well, what's the other one? There's another one.
Mike
Or
Pond's
is that it?
backyard.
Yeah, Mike Pond's backyard.
Yeah, it varies.
It's because it is true. Because like you go somewhere like Bobby Ray's is like you almost want to go there and feed off of the fact that you're in a bar where half of the bar is not paying attention to you. So you're like, well, I want to make that guy in the back that's just watching this fucking Browns Vikings game laugh. Like I want to get that guy's laugh. Whereas at High Note, it's in a separate room. You're just doing your jokes to comics. Like, I mean, I guess we're not going to. That stuff happens in Philly too. So I shouldn't say too much. And this isn't. Again, this isn't. Oh, I mean, try your book. I love Philly mics too. Like, there's.
Oh yeah,
I love.
I was just fucking with you, dude.
But also and I love any Philly comics that will come over to New Jersey because it seems that there's a lot that decide, nope, I'm just a Philly guy now. Like, I love so much when I see a Philly. I'll say this: if High Note ever starts up again, if you want to jump the line, odds are if you walk in as a Philly comic and you're like, hey man, can I just get up? You're gonna jump ahead of like 32 people just because we want you to come over, have fun, and go back and tell people in Philly. Like,
yeah. Get a popular mic going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also too, like, one thing I learned from just like touring experience was just like everyone's different, but everyone's the same. So like, the Philly mics and the South Jersey mics are the same, but like the thing that's different is the people that are watching it. Like, but everyone thinks funny is funny. It's hard to explain. Like, there's a different sensibility. Like, I'll notice certain jokes will go over better in Philly that don't go as well in South Jersey. Like a specific reference to something.
Yeah.
Like a pop culture reference.
Oh, pop culture reference isn't 100%, but that's just, I mean, in a city in general, because I've had that out in Harrisburg, which is technically a city, but like the references that hit in Philly don't hit out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's just good to do both.
Yeah. Get out everywhere. I think it's the main way you can find out if your stuff's funny. Like if I just went just to High Note and Flying W and told my jokes every week to those two crowds, I would know I'm funny in those rooms. So that's why I love going over like one of my favorite mics in Philly, if it ever starts up again after the pandemic, is Current Brew up above the cider place there. Because it's like, it's always a weird mix in there, a good weird mix. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, man, none of that stuff worked. Or you go back and you're like, okay, half of my stuff worked there. Now let me go try it at Raven, or let me go try it down at in South Street at what's it called, Patio X. So
get all the testings in. So
this is the billboard for all the mics in the area.
Yes. And I can't wait to perform them all again in like 6 months.
Oh, no, man, it's kill. And I was wondering that too, with it getting cold. I'm like, it's gonna shut down. And hopefully, there's people that can still somehow do it. Like,
there'll be ways. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because PA is weird with letting people in right now. They're saying you have to present a negative COVID test that was taken within 72 hours of that. Or no, you have to, yeah, sorry, that's it.
But who's checking that? Is it the same bouncers that checked all my fake IDs in Philly when I was 19? Like, they didn't give a shit.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it just started. It just started yesterday, so I'm kind of waiting for people to.
The perfect time to move to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I know. Well, actually,
that room with blank walls because you're not seeing anything else for 3 months.
You better hope this doesn't turn into a zombie situation, because cities are always the worst to be in when zombies hit.
Well, it's actually not too bad because like you can still eat outside. Like my sister and I, after this, we're going to Woody's having a drink.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love Woody's.
Woody's rules.
I mean, let me preface that.
I wanted to say where I am in relation to Woody's, but I didn't want to. I was like, I probably shouldn't say this on
Directly
the we're
across the
posting on the
street.
internet.
Here's my address.
Yeah, they
No,
can't
Woody's
get
a
in.
good time, man.
They can't get in anyway, dude. They don't have COVID tests. They can't get you unless they're in Philly, which they I guess they can.
My favorite memory of going to Woody's was going there and like it was with like a group of people. I was with my now wife at the time, was my girlfriend then, and like my friend was with his girlfriend, and the whole time like we just kept standing there like guys would come on and talk to us and everything, and then we left and I was like, we didn't get anyone to buy us a drink. I was like, I spent my entire adult life buying girls drinks to try to like hit on them, and this was my opportunity to get one drink back, and I didn't get it. So I'll go with you next time.
Well, I think they might sniff out that you're straight because there was kind of like a joke campaign that my sister was telling me about, which was make Woody's gay again. And she was like, Woody's got flooded with straight dudes.
Yeah, it became a tourist spot. It's like,
yeah.
It's kind of like going to a haunted attraction for some straight men. They're like, all right, I'm gonna go in here. I might be a little gay, but instead of getting scared, they just get a little gay. They're like, oh, I kind of like this. Let's go.
You never feel better about yourself than when you leave a gay bar as a straight man.
Oh yeah,
especially when some guy's taking you home.
Yeah,
they'll promise you a free ride home.
Kissing you on the neck. You know, that's when I feel.
Like this guy fucking loves me. He keeps giving me kisses on the neck. We're gonna go play Madden at his house.
Best friends.
Yo, how long were you and your wife dating before you proposed?
10 years.
10 years? Holy shit.
She started dating me when I had like $9 to my name. So shout outs to the real one. She dated me from like when I had no money to when I had a great job to when I then left that good job and was like, hey, how do you have a kid with me? So shout out to her. Not 10 years.
Where'd you guys meet? Did you meet in college?
No, we're from the same hometown. We didn't start dating until like I was in my mid-20s. She was in her early 20s.
Gotcha. Like growing up, we were like, yo, she's a baddie. And then like just moved away and then came back and you were like,
she was out of my league like all through like she was younger than me too. So I guess legally at one point she was out of my league. But she was like I knew her family and she knew mine. Like she had older sisters that I was friendly with and stuff like that. But I was like, yeah, it wasn't until like she had to lower her standards after breaking up with somebody. I was like swooping in.
That's such a beautiful, modest, hot guy thing to say, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at like you're so goddamn handsome.
No, I didn't. I hit my stride in my 30s though. I'll tell you. That's when
you gotta know you're hot, dude.
Oh no, I agree. I'm hot, but but like in my 20s, I was just like fat drinking white guy, and then in my 30s, I hit my stride. But it was like too late. I was already in love and then married. Like damn it.
So why am I? What's the point of doing this? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm just
now
doing
it's just
it
for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, for one other person.
No, I always tell the story. The funniest thing, the night that like we were both in Atlantic City at a birthday weekend for a mutual friend, and I went up. Like I got drunk enough to go up and like talk to her, and like literally in the middle of the conversation, she was like, "I'm gonna go talk to those guys over there," and walked away. And I just grabbed my friend. I was like, "Let's get blackout drunk and go bet." Like I need to gamble all my money away. And here we are, 12 years later, baby.
Wow. Yo.
And the funny thing was, the guy that she went to go talk to was, I guess, the guy she had like went on a date with before, and I saw him years later, and he's like really short. And I'm every bit of 6 foot, but I was like, fuck yeah, so,
yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you kind of got to know that you're at least better than the last dude in some way. It doesn't have to be every way. It has to be some way.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy too, and I hate it now. Like I've seen him a couple times in Wegmans and stuff. But shout out, that's the last time I saw you, Rob, was at Wegmans parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Was Wegmans starting a mic?
Yeah, we were running bits. Every time I run into comics now, it literally turns into like 2 minutes of how have you been, and then somehow turns into running bits. Like,
yep.
Yeah, we're just like, so we need to get it out. It's like a cow that needs to be milked.
The last time I saw Peoples lives kind of near me on a main strip. I won't give out his address, but it rhymes with Schmadden Ave. And he lives on like a ground level apartment, and him and his roommate. I can say this now because he's single. I just found this out. They leave their
Shit.
yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Heartbreak. What's up, peoples?
Hey.
They leave their blinds open and their window open so girls walking by from the bar. Anyway, long story short, I'm out running and I ran by and I was like, oh shit. And I went up to their window. And of course, within like a minute of, I'm almost done running and he's sitting on his couch drinking. We were kind of running bits with each other, just like out of instinct. I was like, I texted him, I was like, hey, sorry about that. But was that one funny when I was talking about like,
Yeah.
We don't have time to be normal people anymore. We got to get these jokes out.
I know.
Nah, I do the same thing. I'll hit up Cody after like every social interaction. I was like, was I like being cool enough? Do they think I'm weird?
It's good you have that because then it's just not you doing that in your head the whole drive back.
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't help because I'll be like, yeah, dude, you're really fucking weird.
Yeah. But be weirder next time. Turn it off.
I'm just like, whatever you're insecure about, it's true.
Yeah. Which actually kind of helps. I'm like, all right, sick.
As soon as you left, we were all talking about how fucking weird you were.
Yeah, man. One thing I realized I'm really bad at is networking. Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I try to
You're
talk to
really
everyone,
good at
but I feel like
networking.
I just come off weird.
You always feel like it's forced when you're like, I don't know. I do that, especially like with hacks, because I want to get it out there and I want to get like the word of it out there more. And I'll like literally just, I'll message just comics that I'm like, hey, if you're coming through Philadelphia and you want to golf, come join us. Like, and then just, I've sent that message to like a lot of big name touring people, and I'm yet to even get like a viewed thing on the DM. Like, it's just sitting in there.
That's actually nicer than seeing that it was viewed.
That's true.
And then
Just
the
the fuck
response,
you.
you're like, he saw it and was like, couldn't even click twice on it.
Yeah,
first.
I did get one comment. One of my favorite Philly podcasters / comics did give me a, nah, man, I'm good. And I was like, that feels better than not getting an answer. Like,
right.
Yeah, that was nice that Shane Gillis responded like that.
it wasn't Shane, but it was somebody very close to Shane that might sit next to him on a podcast. Yeah. No, so you talk about how weird you feel networking. Like, Shane is somebody who I want to ask to be on it, and I have a connection if I started in Harrisburg, kind of where he started, and I'm like, I can't be that guy that's like, oh, please. Like,
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like Shane thinks I'm weird.
he's not the only one. I mean,
I'm pretty sure because like the show we did at the Flying W, Cody and I were fucked up and we were playing footsies, and he was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Yeah, I don't even process that. Like, I think he thinks I'm cool.
But the funny part is like that on like the level of what you guys do together, like that's not the weirdest by far, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, and then also
you guys
Cody,
kiss, right?
Cody didn't help because I remember Cody being like, Rob feels like he was weird to you because he felt like he was fanboying too much.
When did I say that? Did I say it to him?
Yeah, you said that to him, and I was there. I was like, damn,
Rob, you're also like funny enough and on a quick enough rise in comedy that'll come around and be funny because like when you're on a show with them again in a year and then you're more of like equal peers, like that'll validate that. You won't feel that weirdness, I feel like.
I hope one day. I mean, we did the punchline thing not too long ago together.
Yeah.
And, he was like super sweet to me. Like he was.
How funny would be if that was the second time you've ever played footsies with a guy and he also walked in on that one. He's like, is this just your fucking thing?
Because this is a weird bit. I remember some other. Was that
There's only 2 times.
No, but he was very nice, but like I still had that insecurity in the back of my head because I don't know, because the weird thing is about comedy is like I don't know, like who you are is so closely connected to like the thing you're trying to pursue. So it's it makes it a very weird place to be.
Well, and
I'm
everybody
like,
always,
I want to just be friends because this is so fun. I love doing comedy, but also like think I'm like I hope you think I'm cool so we can like do stuff in the future.
but
You
it's
know,
also
like-
the only thing, like, it happens on every level, because I guarantee you there's probably someone that he has that same feeling with. You know what I mean? Like, he meets Bill Burr, he probably has that same feeling on a different scale. But it's also the only thing where, like, us just literally telling jokes in a bar, we're not that far removed from someone telling jokes in an amphitheater. Where if I go shoot free throws in the park, I'm so far removed from Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Like, there would never be a chance that me owning a basketball would put the two of us in the same room. But the fact that I've told dick jokes at a bar, I could potentially see one of my favorite comics one day and not be that different from them. Like, they would welcome me into a conversation, which I love about comedy too.
That's a pretty interesting point. You're totally right. Like, very rarely would, like, the closest I played hockey for 25 years. And the closest I ever came to, like, just, like, bumping into somebody playing hockey that's famous was Danny Briere's kid in the locker room. And I was like, he looked enough like, it was just his kid, too. It wasn't even him. He saw my penis. It was a weird exchange. I feel like I had to
But do you think he might have gone home and told his dad about your dick? It might have been.
Well, yeah. Well, his dad, I think his mom, I remember hearing this. I think Scott Hartnell Jeff Carter fucked Danny Briere's mom or some shit like that.
I think Jeff Carter fucked everybody's mom and sister and wife.
Yeah, I saw him. Actually, you know what? I did see him one time in real life, but I was playing street hockey, which I don't know what the equivalent to make a.
He was driving by the street and playing hockey.
No, he wasn't even driving. He was just walking a dog. He had his hottest wife or girlfriend or whatever, and his dog. And I was just like, "Yo, fuck you, Jeff Carter." And he's just like, "You're playing hockey with shoes on."
Fuck you, guy I don't know. You know my full name. I don't even know your first name. Like,
yeah. That's the closest exchange you get. But in comedy, you like, it's pretty weird. Like, I have Mark Norman's phone number. And sometimes you look at it, you're like, oh shit, I accidentally blacked out and texted Mark Norman.
Send him my dick again.
You don't get that opportunity with many other professions, like you're saying.
Yeah, like that. I mean, Rob, you picked him up in New York, right, and drove him down to the Flying W show, right?
Yeah. All thanks to the Code Meister.
Yeah. But like, think about that.
I really lucked out with that.
But that's,
like,
I mean, that's an incredible experience where you're literally the one like level of removal is like, you knew Cody, he's doing a show for Cody, you picked him up. Like, it's never, like, you would never have that where like, I picked up Mike Schmidt and drove him to a Phillies game. Like,
there's no crossing thing for that to ever happen.
Yeah,
and that's why I love comedy, because even though it can be like jumbo, or you can literally do it in your basement to two people, you could eventually cross paths.
Yeah, no, that is true. And it seems like with comedy, obviously there's still like a business end to it, and there's people that jump ahead further without the merit. But it does seem like comedy is more merit based than
I think even those people that jump like ahead of the line still have that. It seems like they have that in their mind where they're like, I might not deserve to be here, but I'm here. I'm gonna fucking take this shot. And if somebody's honest and like owns that, it makes me love them even more.
Yeah, like I don't know, like for me personally, like I've gotten some cool opportunities, mostly due to this dude I'm doing a fucking podcast with.
You're welcome, man. I mean, it was.
No, but yeah, like I have been like insecure about like certain shows, but
yeah, but that's what makes you, and that was what makes you write funny shit. This is just turning into a bro therapy session between the three of us.
I like it. I kind of needed this.
I love it, man.
It usually veers that way. Jeff Colello gets very uncomfortable when it happens. Like, why is no one yelling at each other?
I love that there is a new wave of positivity amongst dudes in comedy. Like, Dad Meat is my favorite podcast by far, and it's literally just nothing but like dudes pumping up other dudes, and it sounds, to explain it to anybody else sounds so fucking dumb, but it's like,
it's getting gay. Like, I'm not saying as a negative derogatory.
No, in a good way.
It's definitely getting like real
like
gay
it.
about it. It's
And I love like
here for
talking
it.
shit with each other. I mean, you guys roasted the shit out of each other, but you're the closest friends in comedy
Yeah.
that I know. Like, I love that that's a thing that's kind of becoming more and more. You guys became closer by making fun of each other's, well, dead dad and living dad. Fucking spoiled Rob.
Yeah,
He's got two parents.
to be honest, I wouldn't have gone that hard after anyone but Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Which is that's nice.
Yeah.
To know that someone's like, I'm saying the meanest thing I could possibly think of. There's something that's like, all right, well, there's nothing else.
That was I love that fucking roast battle. I know it's come up on here a million times, but it's rightfully so. It was an incredible, and that's where I think when people know each other in a roast, it's so much better than like I met this person via the internet 2 weeks ago. That can be fun, but
yeah, I went back and did another one with somebody that I only met one other time, didn't really know much, and you exchange the information, and it's not as fun because like she said stuff, but that's obviously stuff that she's okay,
right,
like being made fun of for,
right?
Because she told me it, and it's something funnier or just better when you guys just know each other. You don't even
you don't see it coming. Like
you don't have a conversation about it, but you basically know each other so well. You know what you're gonna say about each other, and just kind of are prepared.
Yeah, like we didn't have that conversation.
No,
really. I think the only thing I asked you was like, is there anything off limits? And you said no, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I think we were just like, are we doing off limits shit? I'm like, nah. The one time I did a roast and someone had a limit, it didn't want me to make jokes about gay people being pedophiles, and because he was gay, I'm like, that kind of makes me feel
pedophile was so
kind of makes me feel like you might be a pedophile. It was like,
also too,
sounds like you're
I feel like
I wasn't even going to make that joke, but
I feel like your explanation is correct, but it's painting you in a bad light when there's a very important piece of information to this. This gay dude, it's not that Cody thinks that gay people are pedophiles, it's that this gay dude had a podcast that sounded pedophilic.
Oh yeah, he rates little children's movies?
Yes, like something like that. So I just wanted to fucking have your back there, dude.
Oh,
welcome
yeah,
to tricking kids with cinema. Anyway. That is strange.
Here comes the Thomas the Choo Choo train.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
Notice how Thomas goes into that tunnel without resistance. Like, Jesus. Yeah, but like, don't sign up for a fucking roast battle.
Yeah.
Thomas has to go into lambskin before he goes in the tunnel because the tunnel's allergic to certain latexes.
It's not weird that Thomas drinks grape juice that's been aged for a while. It makes him feel good.
Yeah, sometimes you wanna take out the tunnel.
And choo-choo juice is what really gets you going.
Get the tunnel's belly full. Pay for the tunnel.
Make sure you play with the little light in the very beginning of the tunnel for a little bit before you.
Yeah, tell the tunnel it's pretty. Tell them, take the tunnel out to dinner.
Yeah, pretend like you care about the tunnel's friends.
Buy the tunnel tokens at an arcade. I don't know.
This tunnel's so tight. I don't even know I can fit this bus in it. Oh god.
I'm actually blown away about how tunnels are made. I'm not talking about pussies anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking, so you're
like
still
actual
going
tunnels.
It's not that hard. You can make a tunnel.
No, like, do they like
made a tunnel out of my flashlight?
What? No, do they like blow it up on the inside, then build a structure over it? You know what I mean?
Are we going into tunnel talk? We got hours.
I'm curious about how they make tunnels.
I thought they were all just natural. They just
thought it was just Andy Dufresne trying to get out of jail over and over again.
Yeah.
And he just builds holes and
tiny pickaxe. That's how I think they're built. That's it.
Yeah, just some guy with a hat. He's like, kink.
I don't know. Can I come back on for tunnel talk? We can just do a whole conversation about train tunnels.
Yeah. Wait. What are we at? What's the time at here? Before we dive into more tunnel talk.
We're at an hour 15, but I'm feeling a vibe. Can we go a little longer?
Can we pause so I can pee really quick? Or you guys can keep talking?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Pee timeout. I gotta pee, And then make sure that my wife doesn't hate me if the baby's not screaming.
All right.
Smart.
Cody, is that okay? Do you have anything to do?
Yeah.
All right.
Chilling.
Cool. Let's piss.
3 minutes to go re-up on cocktails.
Hell yeah.
Back.
All right. We're back recording again.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
Yeah, man. That I gotta be honest. I'm fucking hyped right now. This
For
rules.
what? Just
I
for
don't know.
hanging with your dudes?
Yeah, hanging with my dude. To be honest, like living here is fucking awesome. Like it's objectively awesome, but it doesn't feel like home yet. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living in a hotel a little bit.
That's a great. Anytime you move, no matter what the move is, it's like we moved to a really, really cool apartment in Harrisburg, downtown Harrisburg. You can rent apartments for nothing, like exposed brick walls, huge ceilings, like restaurants all right there. And for the first year, I just felt like a tourist that was like stuck there, and I was like, nothing felt comfortable for a while.
Yeah, because like like I feel like if I were to go home right now and like just lay in my basement, I'd be like, oh yeah.
My comfort zone, baby.
But like this objectively rules way harder. And one thing that helps is living with my sister, like moving in with family still. Like,
Yeah.
That helps a lot. Like
I thought you were gonna be like, I can stay up as late as I want now.
yeah, no bedtimes. That's great.
Nobody to tuck me in. My mommy's not kissing me on my head.
But yeah, I mean, it's I do feel more inspired here. Like for the visual listeners, this is my study.
People, man, the viewers are gonna be able to track you down now. They can see that Jefferson building in the background.
Yeah, so I got like a sick view.
They can snipe you now.
Sick view right here. So like I'll just like wake up in the morning and like start writing, and it is nice like having like a sick view, like being out of my element. Like it does put my brain in a space.
Do you look outside and be like, is there a joke out there? I bet there might be a joke out there. Oh, someone fell to their death. There was a joke.
God.
Are you writing a lot of sunrise jokes now? I've been up at 5:15 writing jokes about the sunrise. It's very poetic.
No, I was writing jokes about homeless people though.
Nice. Yeah, is that changing a lot now that you live in the city? Do you think a lot of your jokes, like the only jokes I've written in the past 2 months a lot of my shit was already almost dad jokes anyway, but I've written a lot of my materials just shifted to like a lot of shit about having a kid.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it like inspired by like where I am now, but like not too alienating to anyone.
Right.
I've been only writing jokes about my new apartment and my new kid too.
Like, I actually been writing jokes about your guys' apartment and your kids. Killer material.
Yeah.
Cody, did you find like after your dad passed, were you writing jokes not like about your dad, or like were you writing? I've been writing a lot of jokes about death and birth. It literally happened in the same week for us. So like, birth and death has been my theme that I've been writing about.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those things. When it happens, you're just your mind's already there, and you're a comedian anyway. So you're just like, is there anything funny here? While I'm in the dead dad department, is there anything that fits? Start trying things on. You're like, oh, this one might fit.
I can grow into this one.
This one fits nice, and then you try a bit. You're like, I don't like how I look at that one. That was
this one.
A horrible song.
It would look great on me.
This one's a little big, but I think if I take it to a tailor, I might be able to slip it on. But yeah, I do remember like I was the dead dad material was a flowing when it happened. But but it was weird because it would they would do well, and then sometimes I would just not be in a good place to talk about it. But that was what I planned on talking about, and so the jokes wouldn't come out as jokes because they could see like, oh, you are upset about it. I'm like, I'm just kidding. They're like, no, you're not. You
Yeah.
look
No,
miserable.
this looks painful.
Yeah, you're like,
I am glad,
I
like,
didn't want to make it weird, but I guess I did. Yeah.
I'll say having a comedic brain or whatever you want to call it, like it helped me in dealing with like the actual event. So because it was like within, I mean, hours of it happening, my mom, my sister, and I were kind of cracking jokes, but like ones of like, oh, dad would love this, or like, oh, yep, dad would like. So I'm kind of glad I had that because it wasn't just a month of sorrow and like
Yeah.
it kind of it snapped. It would get me out of that. Like even when I was getting really upset, I would kind of like something would make me laugh. I don't know.
It's kind of more like an ocean or a tide, like, and the waves are coming in. Like you get hit with the wave, and then you're like a nice relieving, like the not as many waves are hitting.
Yeah.
And you get hit with another one, and then it comes and goes, and you see like yourself at the tip of like being sad, and then like right on the other side, it's just like an enjoyable laugh about something, and then you go,
Yeah.
what the, and then you go somewhere in the middle. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, so you kind of just bounce all over the place, and you're just like, all right, and you just deal with it when it comes. But it is nice when you're able to try to like push it into one, like try to make it funnier for other people around you, or just like an easier time.
That's what made me like. I think it can be a testament to him is that like I didn't have to explain. Like when I was like, I need to make a joke about this. I didn't have to explain where I was coming from to my family. Like they got it. Like they were like, oh, we needed that right now. Like that was,
Right.
I didn't have to be like, this isn't to make fun of dad. But here's a funny thing about his shoes. Like,
yeah. No one's gonna appreciate
shoes.
No one's gonna appreciate that unless you just go there and say, like, you don't have to preference it. You're right, so they already get it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting into now. I cleared out like a lot of his stuff in his house and like a lot of like clothes and stuff. And my mom wouldn't take it to Goodwill, but I do a thing every year where like I'll take some of the clothes doesn't fit me anymore. I give them directly to a homeless guy because like I don't want it to go to Goodwill and then I go to the neighborhood to hang out with Rob and there's just some fucking dude walking by my jacket that bought it at Goodwill. Like I want to see someone either begging for change or overdosing in that jacket. And now I'm picturing that like all my dad's like old suits and coats. I'm like, I can't wait to have like a homeless guy come up to me just on his last leg, and I'm like, oh, it's my dad's hat. Like, what's up, man?
Yeah. He just comes up to you. He's like, he's a black man. He's like, son.
Yeah.
Not that all black people are homeless. I was just saying it'd be funny if he does.
Maybe he's Korean. Maybe he's Korean in this one. I don't know.
You don't know. Korean people are black.
All the way. By the way, Cody, way to assume that my dad's not black or Korean. So
shit.
That is kind of bullshit.
He looks exactly like me. He is as white as they come.
Dude, that's got to be like
super Korean.
That's got to be such an unbelievable move. Like you don't notice that a homeless dude is wearing like your dad's hat, and he like asks you for money, and you're like, he's just gonna spend it on drugs. Like, he just fucking
turns back and gives like a look to my dad. He used to give him like, oh my god, that's the only joke I've written is I'm the only person in my family that hasn't gotten a sign from him yet. And it's to the point now where I'm just trying to convince myself that we're running bits, but that little things, this is the only outlet I have, so fuck it. I've just been trying to convince myself that, like, actually, fuck, I'm glad you said that, because you and I have talked about bands before. This is a side note. The only band I was ever in was named Let It Rip. Can't look it up. Doesn't exist. Sick thrash hardcore band from South Jersey. Anyway, side note.
Let It Rip.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play Skater's Choice?
Yes, we did.
All right, sorry.
Are you a ripper? Were you a ripper?
Yo, my memory is horrible. I'm for sure gonna have Alzheimer's.
Nice. Oh yeah, I'm fucked. I'm already deaf, dude. It's bad.
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
Sorry. So you were talking about like kind of looking out for like signs.
So that's the only joke I've written about, and I was asking if you've done a bit about it, Cody. Was now I just feel like I'm trying to convince myself that things are signs. Like I got stung by a bee last week, and I was like, Dad.
Oh, Dad!
You did always love stabbing people with your ass. Like that was the only joke.
Yeah, right. Yes, I did have something happen. I didn't have like a. I wasn't looking for. I do remember I went to his grave or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, if you're around, just give me a sign somewhere. Like I'll leave the radio, and you could use the next song as a sign."
Yeah.
And then the next song that came on was "I Feel Like Making Love."
Hell
to You."
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
I was like, Dad, dude, that's weird. Why would you pick that song? That's
I mean, no, that's what's weird too. Though is finding out like after my dad's funeral, I got a bunch of like high school friends and stuff were there, and it's just hearing stories, and you're like, oh yeah, like at one point my dad was just a dude. Like he wasn't my dad when he was 25, and was just like he bartended up at the Shore in Central Jersey, and like had like this awesome life that like he's a partier. And I'm like, oh fuck, great, that's right. He wasn't just my dad, which I love him as my dad, and like my baseball coach and everything. But at one point, he was just a dude out trying to get chicks, and like, you gotta love that.
Sometimes I'll think about my dad, like getting rejected by a chick, or like he's like with a group of friends, and he tries to like tell a joke, and everyone stonewalls him, and he feels weird about it.
That's him running bits.
Yeah. Like my dad's trying to like run a bit, and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up, Don." Does my dad go through the same shit I do?
You ever picture your dad premature ejaculating? How he'd handle that?
Never.
Yeah, no.
Because I never did, but now everyone who's listening has.
Yeah, have fun with that.
It's like, oh.
Well, whenever I picture anything about me, it's his mature ejaculate.
My dad came on time all the time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's what I used to do back in the sack. I used to be like, all right, go team.
So I got to experience like toward the end of his life, him and my mom never got divorced, but they were not together. And he started getting like he got like jacked in jail. It was amazing. We'd go to visit him, he'd be like, I'm pretty good. He's like, well, hey buddy, feel it. He'd like flex. And then he couldn't wait because whenever we would go to visit him, he wasn't allowed to lift his shirt up. So like the day he got out, I picked him up and he was like, hey, I know this is really weird, but and he just pulled his shirt up and showed me 64-year-old dude with abs. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
wow.
Like, never had them until now. I'm like, so that shows you like the only way you can get abs is prison. But
yeah.
Are you cool with talking about what he went in for?
Oh yeah, it was that was the thing. I had a bit about it for a while. I haven't done it in a long time, but it was white collar, like wire fraud. He was in investments, and he's a financial planner, and he just did some shady shit. He had a gambling problem and did some shady shit. So he went to like the cushiest of like white collar. It was either guys who did like wire fraud and like tax fraud, and just guys who snitched on drug charges. So it was a mix of like, there would be guys that looked like him, like dudes that just like bankers, and you'd see like out golfing on a country club, and then he'd just be like, oh yeah, and there's so-and-so, he rolled over on like 6 guys in Baltimore, like snitched on them and got a lesser sentence.
Like where like Mike the Situation went to jail.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? My dad was in with the Situation's brother.
Oh yeah, wow. So yeah, because Mike the Situation and his brother, it was tax fraud, right?
Tax fraud, yep. So
they both went in for the same thing, but Mike the Situation got 8 months, and then his brother got 2 years, I think.
So Mike, I know way too much about this firsthand. I know that none of them did it. They're innocent. That was the fun thing. Anytime I went there, he's like, see this guy over here? He's in here for embezzling millions and millions of dollars. Johnny didn't even do it. He didn't even do it. I'm like, all right, man. Everyone in here did it. Like, but so Situation did get a lesser sentence, but he went to a worse camp. So like where my dad was at, it was literally, we went to go visit him. It was a waist high fence. Like you could literally hop it and run it. Like you could run, but then you would just, if you got caught, you'd go back to maximum security and a longer sentence. So nobody did. Like it was pretty cool about it. But that wasn't emotions. That was alcohol.
So yeah, you don't cry at any of the parts of your dad die. You cry about talking about jail. Like,
Situation. I get choked talking about Situation. So
yeah, rough life, man.
There was a rumor though that the Situation was going to go to my dad's camp, and my dad bartended in Seaside Heights. So when when Jersey Shore came out, he was obsessed with it, dude. He watched every episode, and he was like, "I'm only watching it because I know this. Oh, I used to party in that place. That bar was called this." I'm like, I know what you're watching. It's trash TV. You want to watch it. He got so amped because when there was a possibility the Situation was coming there, my dad got to the level of, and this is another bit I used to do, they used to call my dad Coach when you would go visit him in jail. it was like all the guys, and my joke was like, it's because they didn't let him play in the pickup game in the yard. And he just stood on the sideline yelling out plays and shit. And but they were gonna, like, whenever there was somebody new coming in, they would kind of assign my dad to be like, you're gonna show them the ropes. And he was like, hey buddy, you know who I might be showing the ropes in here? I'm like, who's like Situation? he was so stoked. And then he got his brother, and it was such a letdown. He was like, this guy's a fucking dick. Like,
That's pretty funny though, to like be the teacher of jail.
oh yeah. No, ironically enough, he became, dude, it's fucking amazing. I've never even talked about this much. He started teaching the GED course there, and like was like getting guys like back on the other person that was, I don't know if I'm fucking allowed to say it, he's dead. What are they gonna do? The other person that was in there was
they might not count his vote.
Yeah. I can talk about that too. Hold on. That was another bit I tried to write. A guy from Love and Hip Hop was in there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the program Love and Hip Hop. You don't look like the target audience, but one of the guys that was in there was from that, and his wife would come to visit, and like we'd pull up and you'd see like a rose gold Bentley. We're like, okay, well he's here. Like she's here visiting her husband.
Wow.
And he taught the GED course. And when you were saying the voting thing, I used to always make fun of him because he would have all these political opinions. I'm like, why the fuck do you care? You can't vote. And he's like, actually, dude, it turns out somehow in the past like couple months, through his parole officer or his probation officer, went to bat for him with the state and got him the right to vote in this election.
Really?
And then he died and didn't get to vote. So,
damn.
Just shows your voting doesn't matter.
Just just the voting. Yeah.
Somehow that story ties into voting doesn't matter.
Yeah. So when so that's kind of crazy. So that like your dad was only in jail once. Yeah.
He got sentenced like 5 years. He did 4.5. He got out because he was just fucking. He was like the G there, man. He did like so much good shit.
Was it a shock when he went to jail, or were you like, oh, we kind of knew?
No, you know what's funny is, so when it came down, like the feds came to his office, they seized everything, and like took everything, and then the time between that and then when he got sentenced, it almost actually lapsed. So the statute of limitations, they almost weren't able to charge him with what he got in trouble with, because I guess the statute of limitation like that was like 5 years. And he just, like, that time went on and on. They kept handing the case over to different people. And then finally, like, right when it was about to be out of that, I guess one of the people that he frauded?
Yeah, I think
went
frauded.
and was like, yo, you guys can't let this slip. And they brought it back up. So he actually almost got away with it. Like,
wow.
But it's weird. Like, that 5 years was the worst 5 years. That was worse than his 4 he did inside. Like, because it was the constant fear of like, fuck, what's my life going to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
just the unknown.
Yeah, and I did his eulogy at his funeral, and I was like, I got to see my dad as like successful in business, pretty well to do. I led a very good childhood. I was happy, and I also got to see him with nothing, and he was never happier than when he had nothing. Like, he was the happiest person in the world the past year. So. Yeah.
That's a good place to be mentally, is to be able to just remain the same, like, instead of like the highs, the lows.
Yeah.
You just kind of put yourself right in the middle and just enjoy the small things in life.
It was like when we had to figure out like his estate and everything, we were like almost laughing. We were like, all right, who gets the hats? Like, that was, I have his World Series hat. That was like the things he had in his possession. We're like, but yeah, just the happiest I've ever seen him my whole life. So yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah. That shit is kind of crazy because like doing comedy shit, like there's so many people that have like huge dreams, but like do we even want that to happen necessarily? Like,
right.
Like actually Kevin Hart just had a new special that came out, and he had a funny bit about saying like, y'all motherfuckers fucking ruin the best job ever, which is being famous.
Yeah. Did you like his special?
All of you ruined it.
Did you like his special?
I didn't think it was hilarious, but I thought it was very interesting.
I liked it for the times and what it was. He had fun with it. Everyone shit on it, but I was like, hey, guess what? We're going to look back. He's going to be the only person that put out a Netflix special in the time where they said you can't do comedy anymore. That guy finds a fucking way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it was like I thought it was a good move for him because
yeah,
I think it humanized him again, but it wasn't like
I really like his shirt.
his pajamas. I love his pajamas.
Whatever he was wearing, I really like.
oh yeah, he had
Yeah.
like a pajama top.
I
So
didn't
my
see the
wife
thing
would
yet,
say that,
but I'm
I was
really rooting
joking.
for him.
I was like, I want those pajamas, and I was like, you know what? They're probably like $4,000 pajamas. Like,
Yeah, man.
he didn't get them off the rack at TJ
Oh,
Maxx.
dude, speaking of pajamas, all right. So, but my girlfriend's birthday just came up, and if there's like a few things that she loves in this world, it's pajamas and her dog.
Kevin Hart.
And Kevin Hart. No, pajamas and her dog. And then, so I went on a custom pajama site, and I got her pajama pants that just has her dog's face all over it.
Oh man, you escalated her into being an insane older white lady.
Yes, but here's the thing. Like 2 days after it was delivered, her dog died.
Oh fuck!
You jinxed it, dog. Dude, this is why I don't buy jerseys with anyone's name on the back because I'm always afraid they're gonna get hurt. You got her dog, but you killed her dog.
You know what's ironic is I was buying all of my family's socks with my dad's face on them this year for Christmas. That's nuts though. So she can't even relax and not be sad now.
Well, no, that's perfect.
Yeah,
She's gonna be doing a lot of crying.
I still gave it to her.
Yeah,
she liked it. I gave her a warning. I'm like, hey, this involves your dog.
This was a great idea a week ago.
Yeah, like, this was gonna be a birthday gift. I had to get you something else. This is a dead dog gift.
A week ago, I'm boyfriend of the year.
That's kind of thoughtful to do. If it wasn't her birthday and you had just gotten her, be like, yeah, your dog died, so I got you.
Hold on, how did her dog die? Was it pajama related?
Yeah, they actually turned it. They turned it into pajamas.
Choked on pajamas.
That was the blanket. The blanket was the dog. They need the dog.
Yeah, just swallowed full pajamas.
Also,
too, I love that they made pajamas such a funny word.
Yeah, they they nailed it with that one. Pajamas is.
Oh yeah.
I remember that there was like this dude on a fucking Forbes tour who he was like a bus driver, and he wore what was it? It wasn't like Muslim garb. It was like, I don't know. It was like silky, kind of like I don't know. It was like religious garb. The hardest I ever the hardest I ever killed was saying like, "Yo, why is this dude in his pajamas?" And it's not even that joke was clever at all. It's just the fact that the word pajamas is so funny.
Yeah. We could just say pajamas over and over on this cast.
Pajama. I mean, they're becoming the new like athleisure and all that stuff is like what everyone wears now. It's like you don't wear denims anymore.
I'm wearing pajamas right now.
Yeah, Cody, I don't think you own anything not pajama now. I feel like every time I see you, you're also on house arrest, right? So.
Yeah, sort of. A little bit.
Guys, I can't believe I have 2 sick pajama stories.
Yeah.
I have another pajama story.
Killed my parents' cat, gave him pajamas with them all over it.
There should be a drink called a Pajama Mama.
There is now. Guess what? I'm going to mix these, whatever these 2 drinks are now Pajama Mama.
A Pajama Mama.
Oh, that's smart.
So the day I moved in, Dan Madden and Rusty Wright came over. And
pajama party?
We just got fucking hammered. No, but as Dan Madden was leaving, I didn't realize how drunk he was because I was fucking hammered. I was like so hammered. I fell out of my this chair like 2 times, like just sitting still. It was crazy. And,
were you guys just hanging out? Were you hanging out in that room, just like the 3 of you? Nice.
Yeah. So like
with
no
living room?
like we got like a little hang area, TV going, and then
you got a legitimate dorm. You're in a dorm right now.
Yeah. Dan Madden's a sneaky drunk too, because very often he'll hit me up the next day after we were drinking together, and he'd be like, "Yo, was I like okay last? Did I say anything?" I'm like, what? He's like, I blacked out. I'm like, oh, you're fine. You were normal. You were more normal than me, and I wasn't blacked
He's asking you, who definitely also blacked out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking as much as you. It's just
I have a picture you sent me a week ago of you covered in fake blood holding a buck knife, so I don't take your word on you were cool last night. By the way, that's my favorite picture. I want to.
That is an unbelievable picture.
I found fake blood. You know, it's like
I found fake blood, which covered up the real blood real well. Like
that's always that's a good way to try to get out of a murder. Wait, hold on. What were you saying, Rob?
Oh no,
I run the pajama story.
Yes, yeah, there he is.
Yeah, that hoodie. That hoodie's ruined. Too much.
And that was after that. The next text was, "Do you want to do the cast?"
Yeah.
That would have been a wild cast.
Also, do you have a good place to bury a body?
Yes, I do.
That was fucking tight.
What's the pajama pants?
Oh yeah, so as Dan was leaving, Liz and I, like, we're just gonna spend the holidays here because my parents don't want to catch COVID, and so I was saying to Dan, because we were like bonding about Harry Potter, I was like, yo,
don't just breeze over that. Hold on.
We were fucking like we were like throughout the night, something we were talking about Harry Potter,
buffing each other, you know.
Yeah, dude. We were fucking Griffin whores, and before he left, I was like, dude, like, we should fucking have a pajama party where we fucking just watch Harry Potter the whole night. Just like get like pizza, pajama, Harry Potter party. And he was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
is a sick idea.
Yeah, and then he texted me yesterday, and he was like, yo, I don't know how drunk I was, but I just had pajamas show up to my door.
Oh yeah.
So he went home after that and drunk ordered pajamas.
And not only that,
no
he
idea
overnighted them.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You paid extra for next morning a delivery.
Yeah.
I love that. Whenever you do, I did that so the day after my wedding, I woke up to an email and it was like, your Wayne Gretzky t-shirt is on its way from NHL.com. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I showed it to my wife and then my friend. And he was like, oh, you don't remember at the bar you just kept calling yourself the Great One? I was like, no, I don't, but that's amazing. So I now have a fucking sick Gretzky Kings t-shirt that I wear proud all the time. Like,
dude, now I want to get shit-faced. I want to get shit-faced to get myself presents.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fun. Blackout
myself...
Christmas? Blackout Christmas is a real thing. Most things I bought on Amazon, now they're like reasonable purchases. Like I bought a shoe rack for my running shoes the other day drunk. I was like, thanks, drunk me, looking out for fitness me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That fucking rules. But
I think those wall hangers I bought drunk, and they're one day of holding guitars up, so we're good.
Hell yeah. It is like a very nice decor.
That's 100% because for work I have to video into conferences all the time, and it's just a conversation piece. I play it enough that I can say I play guitar, but they're literally just for show now. Like,
yeah.
And the case too.
If they're on the wall, I'm believing that you're sick.
Oh yeah. I also still have
Walls
the
and
floor.
guitar wall.
I still have the floor stand to show that I was a floor stand guy very recently.
Yeah, you want to show your roots.
Yeah. I've improved my.
I don't forget where I came from.
I've improved my living quarters.
I haven't been a wall guitar guy my whole life.
Yeah, no one starts as a wall guitar guy. Can you imagine?
No, I've been playing guitar since I was 13, and I think that's the first time I hung them on a wall.
Is it so you don't have to bend over at all to pick it up?
No, it's literally so if anybody's walking through the house, it can be like, and these are things I also do anyway.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, these things are very eye level. Yeah,
I have a map thing of the world next to me. I left the United States once, so I don't know.
Well, that's why you need the map thing, just so you're like.
Who would you rather your daughter date, a comic or a musician?
That's tough. I'd say comic, just because it'd be fun. But then I'm like, man, you're either dating somebody really fucked up in the head, or somebody that's more like the musician's more likely to be. It's tough because then sometimes they're the same person. Like I think successful musicians were a fucking loser at some point in their life. You know what I mean? Same with comics.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's always cracks me up when they're like, oh man, like what's a guy from Maroon 5? That guy.
The guy.
Adam Levine.
Why
Yes,
is he
sir.
my idea of successful musician? Why is that right where I go?
I mean,
Because
he's a
he's
pretty
on The
successful
Voice.
musician.
But at some point, that guy was just a fucking nerd freshman in high school with a guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough question. The answer is neither. I want her to date that guy's wife when she decides to date girls.
Smart.
Taking this to the top. I already convinced my wife. I was like, our daughter is going to be a pro golfer. That's it. So be ready for that.
That's a perfect job.
And Cody's golfed with me. You've seen how incredibly okay I am at it. So
You have potential to teach the greatest.
I think I'm just going to let Al Davis raise her because he was really good at golf and he's a hot dude, you know.
Right. That's smart.
Fucking go, dude.
He's just got babies.
But
I'm
yeah,
replying.
we're like 20, 15 minutes away from 2 hours, dude.
Oh, tits.
So
Halfway there, baby. Let's go. Just ripping a 4-hour Rogan cast. Let's do this.
let's fucking
I
go,
don't know,
baby.
what do you guys think about? You guys think about CTE and CB and
The CTE is pretty awesome. 'cause
wow,
it's
I'm
just-
glad that you ran with it. See,
The
that's how you're a
CTE
professional.
Well, here's the thing. Like CTE is Alzheimer's on your own terms.
At any age, yeah, you're like, I decided this.
That's actually pretty good.
Punch me in the head. I want to forget what spaghetti is. Let's go.
I have a fear of shark. I have a phobia of sharks. Why don't you punch me in the back head?
When you asked me earlier, Rob, of what kind of dad I'm going to be, I'm leaning heavily.
Abusive. Be abusive. You should be abusive, man. Come on.
No, yeah,
Oh, wait, is that your wife?
yeah. She couldn't get that done. You're good.
Okay, good.
No, I've always been like the conspiracy theory nerd, but for some reason, for the past 2 days, I've been down a rabbit hole of JFK conspiracies, and I think it's starting to worry my wife because she's like, "Oh, like this is weird now." Like before, it was like it's a quirk, but like now, this is the guy who's doing half of raising our daughter. Like this is,
Right.
but they all check out in my book.
You should do cute little gags on your wife, like leave up Google and say, how do you juggle a baby properly, and just like little fun things like that, so she eventually leaves you with the child.
Throw her off the scent.
Well, you know how like
Exactly.
we'll have like those little miniature like cars that they drive. You should get like
Reenacting.
the JFK car.
I'm reenacting the Booter film in our front yard. Back into the left, babe. We discussed this. Like, come on.
We said we were getting real dark with it this Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great Halloween costume.
She'd win first prize, but she'd also be expelled from school. So
I just dress her up as Jackie O in all pink. Just put brains in her hands.
Yo,
That's
that
pretty
would be
good.
Write it down. That's
So
a cute one when she's like 2 and she doesn't understand it, and then she's 30
Yeah.
and she's at a therapist talking about it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, she's gonna become a comedian because that's something. Like, yeah, well, when I was 3,
yeah.
I
Pro
was,
golfer, comedian, or
yeah, boom, wrapped into one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I have just a heads up. I have 7% battery left. on my
All right,
phone.
well let's wrap this puppy up, baby.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
a good time.
I mean,
man. I had fun.
7 lasts for a little bit, but I'm just saying, if I
Yeah.
eventually go dark, that's why.
And what I appreciate is that Cody's definitely on the top bunk right now.
Yeah.
Zero Dark Cody over here. Oh, your room looks exactly what like I'd expect it to look like. It looks like if
hell
Kevin
yeah.
McAllister never left home.
Let's go.
Yeah,
baby.
so I killed. It's what happens when he accidentally, like, the robbers actually died in the movie, and he was really fucked up from it. But he's
He's on house arrest.
But also, he's like addicted to it. It's like, yeah, I just can't wait. They might be back. It's like, you killed them. Like, no, they're not dead. They're not dead.
Ghost, you never
I didn't
know.
kill anybody. I can't ever leave the bunk.
How many booby traps do you have set in your room right now?
I got quite a few, actually.
But you're the only one going for them. You set them when you're sober. You return when you're drunk.
Yeah. Like, all right, I gotta keep myself away from the guns, so we'll have this go off when I'm drunk. I'll never be able to figure it out.
How quickly does drunk you go for the guns?
I usually like to go from sober me into drunk me while I have the gun. You know,
The gun in hand. Okay.
like I'd be like, all right, we're drinking with a gun. No, I keep it pretty far away, but I will be like
Far away, not locked up. I keep them at arm's reach. I don't know.
yeah. No, they're like right there, actually. Yeah, there's a bunch of guns right there. So yeah, it's a little bit out of arm reach. And then
They're in your dad's name. I mean, if you get caught with them, like,
Dad did it. Well, it's just fun. I like to do the bit where you like want to see where my dad keeps his guns, but like I'm too drunk
here
to
on my
actually.
bed, on the bottom bunk.
I think at one point I did scare Rob because I think we were drinking and I brought down the gun. He's like, "What are you doing with that?" I'm like, "You're right. This isn't cool. I'll put this back upstairs."
Yeah, I remember.
See, that's a good voice.
You pressed the barrel on my armpit, and I was like, come on. Man.
That's way different than Cody presented it. He was like,
you
"I
did
walked
like
in
the
the
thing
room."
where like you shot like you pulled the trigger a few times. You're like, it's fine.
It's mostly empty. I don't know.
Yeah, it was unloaded. Yo, that actually reminds me. The day Biden won presidency, Grandma picked me up, and we got a place in the city, and I was like still up from the night when you guys saw the picture with the blood all over me. I was up all night drinking, and then he picks me up, and we went to Philly, and he's doing all this crazy shit, and some girl, like, he's about to have like a party at his thing. Some girl comes there who's drunk as shit, has a fucking gun that she takes out of her purse and is like fumbling around with it, like pressing the button, like the bullet, the clip came out, and I was already having like a panic attack just from like staying up all night and no serotonin left. I saw that, and she's like, "Yeah, it's like fine though, you know." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, I do not like." I went in the other room, grabbed my bag, and just left without
grabbed my gun.
Yeah, respect. That's such a trash move.
Yeah, it was. It was
think
like
that was.
Yeah.
You think her dad died, and she also got that gun?
Probably, but yeah. So Tyler calls me. I'm like waiting to get the Uber, and I don't answer him until I'm home. He's like, "Where'd you go?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm home." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "What do you mean why? I saw a gun. I want to leave, so I left."
He calls you. He's like, "Oh, good. I'm shot."
I think you said a random name that you didn't mean to say. I think you meant to say grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there was some weird random name.
Yeah, no, it was grandma. But it was funny because the Uber that I called to take me back from Philly actually had his girlfriend in the car, so I couldn't let her see that I was the one getting into the Uber next because I was Irish goodbying them. So I had to wait until they got, and they had all the alcohol, so it was like a big deal. They had to take all the cops came over, like, "You actually have to drive on the other side," and I'm just waiting for them to like just not be standing next to the car. The Uber's calling me, and she's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I see you. I'm making my way over." And like I like walk by. I'm wearing my life jacket too, so I'm pretty visible.
Did you say I'm wearing my art for a second there?
No, my life jacket. I might have said
I'm head to toe in my art.
This is my art.
If there's anybody that could argue their way out of something, it's you and Grandma. Like, I can picture you in front of a judge, and you're like, "This is all just an art piece." You're good to go, man, covered in blood.
Yeah, I wonder if there's one judge out there who's like, I do see art, so you are let free. There should be instead of like a sane asylum place you go to, like, "This man committed this crime out of the fact of art," and you get to go to art school.
Your community services, I just want you to go outside and think about what you did.
Yeah, exactly. I did pitch the idea of community service comedy show, so we'll see if they let me do that.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yo, that actually reminds me of a story. Yo, Cody, where's your battery at?
I got 4%.
Can you run to a charger real fast?
Yeah.
Run.
I feel like this is a good story.
He
Yeah, I
trips, gun goes off.
It's always hard to, for some reason, when I have headphones on, it's really hard for me to get off the bunk bed.
Yeah, it's also hard because you're a fucking adult. Sick gag.
That's a decent point.
That's a good one.
You know how easy it is to get down out of a bunk bed when you're a kid? Like,
All right.
Hold
Are
on.
you on the charger?
Yeah, I'm charged.
All right. So
we got
I
2 hours,
went.
baby.
I took an Uber from Philly to my girlfriend's recently, and I had the weirdest. It ended up being okay, but the weirdest fucking experience I had with that. So this guy picks me up. I'm in Center City, and he's silent the
Cody's
whole.
dad is the driver.
I wish.
John's dad was riding shotgun. Weird story. Anyway.
Yeah, fucking grandma's friend was holding the shotgun, and then
Yeah.
and then he's silent the whole time, and we're 2 minutes from the Ben Franklin Bridge, and my driver goes, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he says, what would you say if you wanted someone to stop themselves from committing suicide?"
That's some casual conversation.
This happened Wednesday. So we're 2 minutes from the Ben Franklin Bridge when he says this to me.
The
My-
most jumpable over bridges. It's
my hands go numb because I'm like, is this guy about to do something fucking crazy?
yeah.
And
Why don't you start convincing him?
well, like
Hey,
what
do it.
what I say to him, I was like, I start asking him questions. I was like, "Are you talking about a friend?"
That would have been awesome.
I was trying to keep it so low key, but I was literally like my chest felt like there was fucking like a knife through it. I was like
Yeah.
so nervous.
Dude, that would have been awesome if as soon as he was done talking, as soon as you finished talking about like what you would have say, he just was like, not good enough, and just took out a gun and just bah!
Oh.
Like,
Yeah,
well, that
I
fucking
thought he was
sucks.
gonna try to drive off the bridge or something. That's so weird.
That's a
so
movie I
weird.
watch. Write this down. This is a great
How many
script.
stars did that get him?
What?
How many stars did you give him?
At the end, I gave him 5 stars, tipped him $10 because, like, at the end he was cool, but I was like, dude, this is horrible timing to say this to a stranger that you're driving.
Right.
That should have been your answer. What I would say to someone about to kill themselves is, there's $10 and 5 stars in it for you if you get me where I need to be. Like,
Well, I heard just from like crime shows and stuff like that, like the best way to like stop yourself from being killed is to like to humanize yourself. So I was like, well, first of all, you know, like as you saw in the app, my name's Rob, dude. I mean, I'm like, and you know, like I was like super open to him about all the people, like, because I've known a few people who wanted to kill themselves. So like, I just ended up being super honest about it and like very open, very sincere about it. And then we got past the bridge, and I was like, like, I was.
Yeah, but
cool.
then you're
and then like
Camden.
eventually I told him, I was like, hey, like fucking call the suicide hotline. I was like,
if you go back, the number is actually posted halfway on that bridge. So you go look it up.
yeah. Because he was kind of posing it as like it was his friend, but what he was saying, he was like, I have a friend who wants to kill themselves, but they don't want any medical attention, like they're avoiding all that, and they just had someone significant to them die who was about to die, something like that, and it's kind of hard to like recollect it because to be honest, like my brain was going a million miles per hour. Like I was like freaking out. But yeah, I told him my experience with it, and then I was just like, you know, like the suicide hotline is like available. Like if you need advice on how to help your friend, like call them.
So you're talking about how bad you are at networking. That was your perfect opportunity to be like, I'd tell him to tune in to What Up with Rob and Cody. And he could, you know, get a good giggle about some random shit and everything's all right.
Yeah, if you need a fucking laugh, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, he just said he wasn't trying to do any medical shit. This would significantly cure his depression.
Your answer is just you take your phone and hit play. You're like, what up?
Cut my life into pieces. Like that's the first thing I play. This is my last Uber.
It's just all Elliott Smith songs. You're like, why this playlist now?
Yeah, dude. But yeah.
Shout out Elliott Smith.
Drumline.
What?
Let
No.
me know if you can hear this. I'm gonna
You have a drumline?
There's a drum line playing right outside of my window, so I have no idea which one it is.
Yeah. That's just reggaeton.
I can't
Can you
really
hear
hear
that?
anything anyway because I had to take my headphones out.
All right.
Dude, we nightly, I live close enough to Camden that nightly we just hear like from 11 till 3 in the morning, there's just a like thumping bass that nobody has any, it's like every message board in our area that my wife's on is like, did you guys hear that loud music again? Like,
It's coming from the sewers.
yeah, it's coming from the dark side of town. Like, Jesus Christ.
The dark side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But fuck yeah, dude.
Hold on, let's not gloss over it. That's insane that you almost died because some Uber driver was like, this guy's the one.
I literally could not believe it. Like, all right, so let's say like this guy was asking for a friend. Don't do that to a stranger.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah.
that to a stranger.
Yeah. That's fucked.
That's a
Or
yeah.
do you think he
And
does
also,
that
if
to
you're gonna
every?
do it, don't do it
all
right
right, so
before you're about to go on a bridge.
maybe ask a stranger that, but not one that you're driving over a bridge.
Do it right before you're about to drop him off. Like, we're here. By the way,
Yes. Well, when you're there, ask them. Don't do it right before you're driving on a bridge. That's my main advice for everyone.
yeah. All you
know,
Uber drivers out
That's
there.
wild. That's the only type you can have that type of conversation and not get fired. If you'd had that any other job, you'd be fucking done.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
how
Uber,
good would
you
it
could just be
be?
like, "Hey, I'm gonna talk about suicide. There's no one watching me."
Yeah,
You
and
know how-
at the end, thankfully, he was a cool dude. But I was like, holy shit, man! Like, it got I felt like this was one of the more like real experiences where I was like, is this it, dude?
Yeah. Oh, if that's how you go out, that sucks too. And it's like, you don't even get a good send off. They're like, local Uber driver decides to end it with guy in the back seat. Like, that's it.
Yeah. The fucking Uber ends it with Philly Jew. No one cares.
Philly half Jew.
Yeah. Philly half Jew
Not even a
dies.
whole, even like the Jewish community's like, nah.
Yeah. Ugh. It's horrible.
Do you think he asks everyone that question? Like,
I don't know.
He's dead now.
I have a feeling he was asking most people that question that night.
I
That
think
guy
you
definitely
won.
took off the bridge.
You can't drive a car off of that bridge. I've tried. I mean, I've seen it.
I've seen it fail.
I've rode a bike across that bridge. It's so easy to jump off of that bridge. It's scary.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to. Like I a year ago was like, I have nothing to do today. I rode my bike over to Philly as a little like fucking Huffy beach cruiser. Nothing cool like Lance Armstrong. I stopped halfway and I was like, let me take in the view. And right below you on the street, on the sidewalk, they have like the suicide hotline numbers like stenciled on there. And it's like, it's not worth it or something like that. And like, I am not a suicidal person, but like in that moment, I was like, I mean, it's very jumpable off of this bridge. Like, there's something in your body that's like, see if you could do it. Like,
Yeah.
like shit. Like, that was great marketing. Probably the best marketing I've ever seen.
Yeah, just be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun until the end. But,
Yeah.
man, flying seems cool.
Yeah.
Or I guess just dropping real fast.
Falling with style.
If you put your arms out, that's flying, baby.
Yeah, if you're flapping, as long as you're flapping.
To infinity and beat. that's where it ends. And beat.
I think we found our spot to close on right there.
All right.
That was fucking it. I also have a screaming baby I'm probably supposed to attend to.
All right.
I suppose.
Makes sense.
Yo, John, do you got anything to plug, baby?
Drink Jaime Spark Seltzer. We tried to plug this on Hacks a bunch. We're doing a guerrilla plugging thing where plugging them off. We think they might test to stop saying their name. From
Smart.
I think it's who makes it. Yeah, somebody in Cherry Hill. I don't know. No, yeah. Tune into Hacks Comedy. We Hacks Comedy Golf on Instagram. We wrapped the first season. Cody's on episode 2, technically episode 1. He has been. Everyone has raved the most about Cody on there. He fucking killed it. It was
My
amazing.
guy.
It was as true to Cody as you could be. He came head to toe.
It was a fun show to be on. If you like golf, even if you don't, it was a good time. So check that out, everybody.
That's what we wanted. We wanted, even if you don't like golf and you just want to giggle at some idiots, that's your show. So yeah, into that, we're trying to figure out a second season in which Rob Cruz will be on. I've already stated that with him many times.
Yes.
We're going to figure it out in the pandemic and in the weather what we're going to do, but there's something coming. So stay tuned.
Yeah. And if you want to follow John's comedy account on Instagram, it's Montague Comedy. But it's like if you phonetically did it, it would be Montague.
Yeah, like I'm fancy, but I'm not.
It's It's MONTAGUE comedy. Just so people know for sure. But it's definitely
just in case my face wasn't hateable enough, that UE makes me enough of a dick in my name, and it's like.
But no, like, definitely worth a follow. John's fucking hilarious. He's one of he's one of my favorite comics around here. So fucking check that dude out.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
Cody, what you got going on, baby?
Nothing.
Hell yeah.
Listen to this.
Where can the people find you?
Oh, right there, Cody.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Instagram.
And then follow me at Rob Cruz Comedy on Instagram, and Do-Rag and the Deer Tag, who you've seen us do a swapcast with before. I just did a live cast with them that I think is going to be released next week. And then you could find me on Sweet Heat, where Cody's shitting on me doing classes. Yo,
They released that yet?
no, they didn't release it yet, but I'm
I
fucking
guess I
hyped
haven't
to
heard
see
that
it.
one yet.
I'm so no. Like here's the thing with that. Like I get it.
I
And I
was
think it's
just bringing up
hilarious.
the situation of how I got so mad about it, even though it was like it doesn't matter at all. I'm like, why you?
No, but I know that episode is hilarious as well. So definitely check out Cody on the next episode of Sweet Heat. And shout out to the real ones. Shout out to John Montague. Shout out to Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, say it.
What? Oh, we're all
Hey.
best friends, dude.
Yeah.
We're all best friends.
Oh, I was gonna step in. He dropped the ball. I was so ready.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.